Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rushdown podcast. My name is Kim. My guest today is Marc Cizravi. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, my man. I'm stoked to be here. I'm excited.
Awesome. Hopefully, I pronounced your last name right.
You got it perfect. No, a lot of people butcher it. You did
Awesome.
that really well.
Um, so you're a busy man.
Yeah. I got a lot of dodgeball going on.
Yeah, I bet
Um,
this weekend could
yeah.
be pretty busy for you, huh?
Yeah, so Dodgeball Canada has its first of this new version of the national championship. So up until now, our nationals has always been every province, like your state or the country's states, would send any number of teams based on census. And every province would get X number of teams, and we might have 25 or 30 men's teams, and we might have like 15 or 20 women's teams. So that was the old nationals, which is now called the club championship. And then now we have this new nationals, which is every province gets one women's team, one men's team, um, and all the provinces go head to head. So essentially, like it's like a world's program within just our country. So like every province has their own program. They pick their own team and their coaches, and they practice. This is the inaugural year, so Dodgeball Canada was very lax with requirements for this, but the idea is that it kind of acts as like a development training pipe sort of program that would feed into the national program eventually. It's a good place for up and coming talent to practice. It's a good place for like the world cycle has moved now to every 2 years, and a lot of people aspire to do that. It's like, man, there's not a lot of opportunity. A lot of the people who are on the team, it's like you feel like you need to wait for them to age out, because a lot of the same team members get like rightfully so get invited back to the team. So it's like it's another competitive outlet. We have reasonable participation this weekend. We have 5 out of our 10 provinces. A couple of provinces couldn't make it, and we're only going to be running this on off worlds year. So in years where we don't have worlds, our local Canadian circuit will be doing this, and we're looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be really sick.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when y'all announced it. It was like a really cool idea. But now you guys have two nationals every 2 years now.
Yeah, so we have like nationals every we have nationals now every other year. We still have clubs. So
Hmm.
we have the old nationals still every year. We have the club championship every year still. And then every other year we'll do nationals as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get right into the questions. I did have to cut out some of my usual questions because we got a ton of crowdsourced questions.
Of course we did.
But my first question is, you're the director of Dodgeball Canada and Dodgeball Toronto. Can you kind of like talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So Dodgeball Toronto is um our own private organization. So in 2017, 2016, 2017, um, there was like a real disconnect between the competitive dodgeball community in Toronto and the leagues that were running here. Um, and the main league was called Toronto Dodgeball League, Toronto Dodgeball Association, like all the famous Canadian players that you know from the Ontario, Toronto like area. They all played in this league, and this was like the comp, like this is the league, but played with like some weirder rules. And this league was twice removed. Like this league was founded by a community member and then sold off to somebody. And that outsider that it was sold to, he came into the community, he learned, and he was very in tune with what the community wanted and what the community needed. So it was great. 3, 4, 5 years later, he ended up selling to another outsider. And this organization they weren't quite as motivated to really pay attention to what dodgeball needed. So after a year or two, all of us, we kept asking for like, man, the balls sucked. The rules were still weird. We were playing with 4 small balls and 2 big balls. And it was just like a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense. And we're like, hey, guys, like, please. And they wouldn't listen. So I was like, all right, we can do this better. This is like, why do we need these people? Let's just do something better. So I remember I asked some of your listeners will know Michael Laziak. He was on like Team Canada for several years, like legend in the Canadian dodgeball scene, worldwide, I'd say as well. But I'm an old head. So I asked Mike, but he wasn't really interested at the time. He was like kind of on his way out with dodgeball. I went to Jeff. and then Jeff and I went to Jason Mergler, and then Jason, and then all three of us went to Eric. So me, Eric, Jeff, and Jason, we started Dodgeball Toronto, and the idea was just like we're diehard community um, players, and we were like, I want this to be a league where everybody like we would want to play in this league. You know, we want to do everything really. So like the first couple things that we started doing were like I insisted, okay, we need to have every game has to be filmed. Every game has to have like GoPros up, you know, because some people at the time, we're talking 2017, you'd have the occasional GoPro up in the corner. And sometimes you get to watch your own games, but not everybody had access to this. I was like, this should be a really cool thing. And it's crazy. It's like, it seems like an obscene number, but if you go to Dodgeball Toronto's YouTube, we have well over 4,000
That's
matches
crazy.
filmed,
That's
which is like
crazy.
psychotic, right? Like, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. So, like, every league night there's like between 6 and 8 matches that go up, and there's multiple league nights. A couple of years ago we started running tournaments as well, and like every court is filmed. We have something like 400, 600 matches that are played um, over the course of a couple of days. And yeah, the core tenet or idea was let's make a league or a dodgeball organization that is like very in tune to the community's needs. You know, we're very responsive. There's a lot of things we wish we could do that just like logistically doesn't work, but we're very like um all of the players who play in our league, they're all our friends. You know, we're all still very like we're all very well connected. So we hear something from someone if something's not being done as well as it could, or if there's a new idea, or if there's something like that. So Dodgeball Toronto is our private venture.
Yeah.
Dodgeball Canada is obviously the national sport organization for Canada. So in Canada, they're called NSOs. It's a national sport organization. It is a nonprofit, a registered nonprofit with the Canadian federal government. And to be on the board of Dodgeball Canada, you have to be voted in by the provincial organizations. So all the PSOs, I believe we have 10 registered PSOs. I should know this. I'm pretty sure it's 10. We have 10 PSO members, and all of them individually act as members who vote along with the existing board members who vote on like when we have elections coming up. So I'll plug that actually right now. So it's funny because in like just over a month from now, in early November, we have a special election where five Dodgeball Canada director positions are available. And we're looking for good, engaged, community serving people. So if anyone wants to be a director, there are a lot of cool positions available: president, VP, finance, and then two new positions, policy and events. And we're looking for good people. Like, come join us. And it's a great gig. It's a great gig when you've got a great team, and we've had a great team thus far. It's just a lot of work, and it's easier when you share it. So if anyone's on the fence, message me or anybody else on Dodgeball Canada's board, um, and we'll we'll give you a very honest, um, realistic talking into like we don't want to rope anyone in who doesn't want to be there, but it's like yeah. So Dodgeball Canada handles um, Team Canada, like the national program. Dodgeball Canada handles clubs and now nationals. Owns other events like Western Championships, and like the cloth national open, like these kinds of things. So that's purely volunteer, whereas Dodgeball Toronto is a private for-profit organization. I wish I could say that we made more profit than we do, but it's like we only answer to ourselves, right? Like we're called directors like internally, but now just Jeff and I own Dodgeball Toronto, and like we make those decisions together. We have close advisors in Bethel, Shade, and there's like a lot of other people who talk to us. We're like, yeah, this makes sense, but we're not accountable to like any membership or anything like that, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome. It sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
I have too much.
Yeah.
I should not be doing this. I should not be doing this, but that's a longer conversation. Maybe we have time for that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with this new election, are you trying to get your way out of it? Is what you're trying to say?
No, so like my current term isn't up. My term is up at the end of next year.
Okay.
So I would still be part of the board until then. People have asked me, like, would you run again? And it's like, ask me then. Like right now, if I answered right now, I'd be like, I can't continue to do this. It's like it's too much to upkeep. But life could look very different a year and a half from now. Um, and maybe I'm not definitely going to say yes or definitely going to say no. I'll decide. I'll cross that bridge when it gets to it.
Yeah. Hopefully this election gives you a pretty good group and really alleviates a lot of the stress for you.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be and honestly, everyone on the team is great. Like everyone's really. It's just there's like a lot of personal stuff happening as well. It's just like this is a lot to manage.
I bet.
Yeah,
Um, so my next question is, everyone has heard about the great tournaments of kickoff and midseason
sure.
that Dodge Toronto throws every year.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about the origin of, I guess, kickoff?
Yeah. So it's really the same event. The only real distinction that it's that's happened now is we tried just recently doing a 3 day event over this past summer. So Clash for the first time was a 3 day event. We've only ever thrown 2 day events for the most part until just now. And then kickoff is just a name for something at the beginning of the year. And then mid-season Clash, it's kind of a if there are any gamers in the if there's any gamers in the chat, like Clash is just the name of a tournament in League of Legends, and I just put mid-season invitational is also a different tournament, and I just kind of mash them together. Some people call it mid-season, some people call it Clash, and it's like it's whatever. But it's just like our summer tournament. So it's like there's a beginning of the year and a middle of the year tournament. For the most part, we try to keep it in the summer. The origin of the tournament. So um, we'd only ever run leagues up until 2023, and then a Dodgeball Ontario board member had approached us and said, "Hey, I found a really sweet venue if you want to host a tournament." And it never really occurred to us like we wanted to do it, but we only wanted to do it well. We didn't want to like there were tournaments back in the day where we would rent out a school, and it would be fine, it would be good. Um, but like we didn't want to play some matches over here and some matches over there, and like some matches had hardwood floors and some matches had sport court and this sort of thing. Like we wanted to run proper tournaments, and this venue was really nice. It was like it's not where we play now, but it was a really good start. It was in the playground in Oshawa, and the first tournament we ran was only like 20 teams per day. We played, I think it was maybe 12 men's teams and 8 women's teams. Um, in January of 2023. And then we are like, okay, that was so hard. We made so many, can I swear? Can I swear? I
Yeah,
don't know if I can
you're
swear or
good.
not.
You're good.
We made so many fucking mistakes, man. We made like so many mistakes. But people were really kind. People were really nice. They're like, hey, thank you so much. This was great. This was amazing. And for the most part, it was very local. There were a couple Americans who made it up for the trip. And I was like, man, that's so cool. Um, so we're like, okay, when can we do this again? Like that was really good. And then we went from 20 teams to 55 in that summer, and we had like 55-ish, like between men's, women's, mixed rec, and then mixed open. And then we did 2 events in like this playground venue. And then um, Mark and Pan Am became available, the Pan Am Center, which is where Worlds was played in 2017, when Toronto hosted Worlds, when Markham hosted Worlds. Um, we played at the Pan Am, and we actually played at Pan Am. Like Ontario would play a couple tournaments there, like many years ago. Um, and this venue I love this venue. Like it's world class. I was like, man, if we're gonna host here, we really got to have the numbers for it. Like it's very expensive, and it's like it's got to be worth like everyone's while. So we moved where we got a far greater number of teams. So we went from 20 to 55, and then our second kickoff was like maybe almost 90 teams. But we were cramming these 90 teams in like a very tight schedule, and like it seems like someone always got dicked. Like we did the best we could. We did a lot of really cool stuff with the schedule, with like blocking it and like shortening people's like active playing time, which is really nice for athletes. Because I remember when I would play, and I hated these 14-hour days. These
Yeah.
14-hour days were fucking torture. Um, so we're like, okay, like if we can shorten the times, and that was like it seemed like such a minute detail. And for the most part, most people love it. Some people are like, it sucks that men's and women's aren't playing at the exact same time because like our whole crew is here. So it's a long day regardless, but it's a less dressed period of time. You don't need to be playing at 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. It's like if you're playing first thing in the morning, you should be done by like the mid afternoon.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then ever since Pan Am, like yeah, again, we went from 20 to 55 to like 90-ish teams, and we've been hovering the 90 mark. Um, and it's just like it's just been a how much can we fit reasonably? And now we've gotten to the point like that the tournaments have improved, not to like pat ourselves on the back too hard, but we've learned a lot, man. We made a lot of yeah, I'm gonna beat a dead horse. Like we did a lot of things really poorly, did a lot of things really well, but it's like, oof, that's a lesson learned. And the kind of like, and I'm sure some people are interested, some people are interested, the like the number of teams you have or the number of courts you're playing on needs to be of a certain equilibrium because if you have too many courts playing with too few teams, you don't have enough teams who are resting and available to ref at the same time because we do that like we stole this idea. I say steal with like all the endearment to like dodgeball Seattle and like Lucas, but like we first saw that in Seattle where it was like yeah the teams are refing at the teams ref when they're not playing. I was like, that's an incredible. Like, don't get me wrong. Is it nicer to not have to pay the labor? It's like, man, it just wouldn't be sustainable. You know,
Yeah.
paying four people per court. It's like we'd really have to balloon the cost of the
Yeah.
tournament. But I think dodgeball's really in this really nice sweet spot where we're like we're learning to crawl and to walk together and um everybody needs to be engaged. Like for the most part in dodgeball's history, everyone's pretty much only been a player, you know? There aren't a lot of retired people who are only refing or only coaching or only organizing. It's like everybody, all the players are graduating into these positions after they either age out or injury out or just move on and just don't have the so all this to say yeah, the tournaments are now, I think, like fucking incredible. Like the
Yeah.
tournaments are like we get so much positive feedback. People fill out their surveys, which is like amazing. They're really kind. Um, and it only we make a hard point of like before every tournament starts, we have a meeting and we're like, okay, what did we not get wrong? Like what did we not get right? What opportunities were missed? What can we do better in 6 months? And doing this twice a year doing this twice a year is a heavy burden but man the events sell out now very quickly like kickoff is coming up in 4 months we opened registration like 2 weeks ago we had like we had 72 teams signed up within 3 days you know
That's
it's like
crazy.
it's absurd yeah it's absurd I'm still jealous of like the I'm not we're not trying to we're not trying to compete with anyone so to speak, like API, we think API is like a wicked product, and like you
Yeah.
see the energy. Have you played API?
I've not.
Man, if you go, all I see from the streams or all I see from like friends who go and like come back, they're like, man, the competition is like so stiff. The community is so engaged, you know.
Yeah.
Nate and Pyan, man, I'm gonna go on such a tangent. This thing's gonna be 3 hours long. I'm so sorry, everyone. Uh, Nate and Pine's episode, like right before I listened to this, and they were like, Nate was really harping on like, guys, how are you not staying to watch the final? You know, how are you not staying to watch if you want to improve, or even if you don't want to just to watch? Um, and like you watch the API like semis and finals, and there's a crowd, man.
Yeah.
These people are so engaged and they have like a younger maybe more vibrant community or more like they're more like into it. I don't know, maybe life is different outside of North America,
Yeah.
but a lot of people here they dip. That said, like we opened the bleachers for our last for Clash. We found our marquee setup the way that we're doing it now where we have like the bleachers all the way out and it's like it's filling up reasonably, but we're trying to encourage yeah, we're trying to encourage spectator viewership and the spectator experience as well. um, I've forgotten the question.
No, you're good.
What was I rambling about?
Origin of
Yeah,
kickoff.
yeah, the origin of the tournament. Anyways, that's how the tournament started, and it was like, yeah, people have been really like so many, especially like Americans come up to me and they're like, "What you guys do is amazing. This is so incredible." Like, I've spoken with like USA organizers to like if anyone wants help or anyone wants like um yeah like guidance on like how to do this it's not a secret it's hard to build the snowballing effect. I feel like every time we open registration I'm like fuck are we gonna get the teams are
Yeah.
we and then everyone around me is like dude shut up everyone's coming you're fine. So yeah, so that's the yeah, that's I think I answered it.
Yeah,
Sort of.
somewhere in
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's in
there.
there. Yeah.
No, it's your tournament kickoff mid-season is probably regarded as the best North American tournament. Like it's up there with the thing that I can
Yeah,
really just name off my head right now, but
for sure.
everyone
Yeah,
talks
I
about
think
it.
yeah, the thing is like is the hyper competitive tournament, right? We
Yeah.
probably have the best open tournament like
Yeah.
that anyone can sign up for. That like I'd humbly accept that if that
Yeah.
was like how people wanted to talk about it. Great. But like the thing is amazing. Like the USA Nationals, like our club championship are now like there's a lot of really good tournaments out there. I love tournament champions. Anyone who hasn't yet played tournament champions in Vancouver, in British Columbia, you must play. And it's worth noting too. Like we inherited this, like saying like, oh, Dodgeball Toronto runs like amazing tournaments. Like we learned from years of other people hosting tournaments and like running events, and they did a fantastic job. They did a lot of things that we haven't yet managed to do, or that we're maybe not prioritizing. Like I don't want to miff anybody. Like Quebec, I went to so many Quebec Cups, and I always had like such an incredible time. I loved those tournaments. Um, but yeah, we're doing okay. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that tournament champions, I watched the streams on that. It just looks crazy.
It's
It's
so it's
insane.
so fun, man. It's some of the most fun I've had playing dodgeball. It was TOC. TOC's sick.
Uh, next question is, how was the last mid-season? How did it go?
It went well. So for the first time, this is like, man, this is nerdy content that maybe some people care about, some people don't. I feel like we're gonna lose people in and out. Uh, it went really well. We had more teams than we've ever had. Like the men's division was supposed to be 36 teams, but a couple dropped, and we had registration open for too long, so our wait list got like um it went really well. We finally learned that for us, 7 courts is the sweet spot. So normally we had 8 courts at kickoff, but again, we had like this problem where the number of women's teams or the number of rec teams, mixed rec teams, and the number of courts playing at the same time, it was too much. There were some women's teams that were playing like back to back and then refing and then playing again, and like they maybe had one break. It was like a miserable, miserable experience. And like we ate that, we own that. Um, but for Clash, we learned, okay, I think 7 courts is the sweet spot for the number of teams that we reasonably host. Pull these bleachers out all the way, so there's like a lot more places to sit. Like create a really nice spectator experience on main court. And I think we did that. Like for the men's and women's finals on day two, um, I thought there was like some pretty sweet engagement. I think it will build. I think it will mount. I hope that more people stay to watch the quarters, semis, and finals, um, if they can, if they're interested, if they're happy to play. Uh, and yeah, we tried a 3-day format, which was well received for the most part. There's a lot of like good criticism in there about, hey, this is why you shouldn't do this, or this is what you need to fix if you do this again. We're not convinced that we'll do a 3-day event again. I think we'll try again, but the deployment really matters. But we got like our survey engagement was like close to 20%, which is like absurd. Like from the municipalities that I've spoken to who want this like survey data, they want to see the engagement. We got like almost double what they would expect. And then we got like an average of like 4.7 something. Like, like most people are giving 5 stars or 4.5. There's a couple one or twos in there, just a couple. And it's like we reach out to people who want to be spoken to. Like in our surveys, you can opt in or opt out. You can identify or not, and you can opt in to have like to talk about it. Sometimes there are misunderstandings. Like people think they're like, "Hey, why weren't the players like allowed to buy pizza?" It's like because we're not allowed to sell food. We're allowed to get food for our staff, but we're not allowed to sell food at the venue. That said, we have like meal plans coming in for kickoff for the next one. You can buy in advance, you just can't buy in the moment. So now that we have the place to organize this, but Clash went really well. It's the same like we had. I think Valkyrie are three-peat
Yeah.
champions. Someone's got to knock them off their throne. Outsiders like played sick and won the men's division. Um, yeah, it's a great time, man. I like, yeah, I don't know. It went well.
Awesome. Any positive takeaways you can remember?
From like, can you ask me the question a different way? Like
What were
what
some
angle like as yeah.
what were some really good things you could remember that just like it really stuck out to you from that tournament?
Yeah. I would say this is probably the most outside province engagement we've had so far. So like we had almost like between men's, women's, and mixed, we had almost like 30 American teams, which is like absurd.
Yeah.
That's to me that's crazy. Um, or at least teams that had like a sizable, significant um American presence. And like even Benji from the UK
Yeah.
like made a trip, you know what I mean? Like that's cool. I think the biggest takeaway every like the past couple tournaments I've like told our like leadership team internally, it's like, hey, we really got to hit this one out of the park. And I've said that like maybe two or three events in a row. I've been like, okay, this is the one we have to get this right. And if we get this right, then everybody will come. And then it's like that's kind of been the goal is just like run a really good event. Yeah, I think the engagement, like the fact that so many people from so far away are like willing to come play. We've had like whispers of like UK teams or Australian teams that want to come. It's just really tough. Logistically, it's obviously really tough. I think like I think generally a 2-day event for people who are traveling from so far away, that's also um it's tough to reconcile. You know, if you're coming from Australia to play our event,
Yeah.
I hope you're vacationing before or
Yeah.
after, you know? I hope you're like it's more than just dodgeball. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I'm so humbled and honored if that and we'll pull out all the stops, you know. But I think man, I was gonna talk about this somehow, some way. This seems appropriate. Like Outsiders has come. I think they came 2 tournaments in a row now and it's such like a family affair, you know,
Yeah.
like to me that's so cool. I saw more this is a really cool thing. I saw more strollers than I've seen at any event in recent, you know, like people are bringing their kids
Yeah.
like, and I think that's like I think that's cool. um we had a record high number of teams, but it's not we don't care to be the biggest tournament. We want the tournament to be the quality. We're hosting far less teams at kickoff. We've expanded like game times. um yeah. Um, yeah. I feel like I'm not answering the question well, but
No,
it's
you're
like I'm
good.
sure others thought, yeah, okay, all good. Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of
Yeah.
the stuff you said, like the mindset of like wanting to knock out every tournament as best you can for every
Yeah.
like new edition of the tournament is a really great
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any things you want to add or change for future uh kickoff and mid seasons that from previous ones?
Yeah. We've just started like taking on um the streaming, like the streaming component, like internally in house, like managing more of it ourselves, like being really in control of the product. And I think like things that we don't do well that we can do better that require attention. So one, we're like meal plans, like having right now, Pan Am has this like small dinky like restaurant like in the venue that doesn't really serve like our athletes' needs well enough. It's like a common point of feedback that they get from like, but the city has that, and it's just it is what it is. So being able to offer food and drink to our athletes is one thing that is coming. Like everybody will have a list of like things to order in advance, and you'll be able to buy in advance, like buy a couple meals. So that's one thing. Two is like I think there are other tournaments that really celebrate their teams and their players that like create the storylines, you know? So for example, like Valkyrie are 3-time champs. We would love to like really lean into that story coming into kickoff, you know, like do some hype posts for teams that are returning, do
Mhm.
some hype posts for teams that are coming from a long ways away. Uh, yeah. We also there's some sharing dodgeball content that we've been trying to produce for a while that we is like still in it's still on the way. But because we've perfected so many other parts of the craft, we have more organizing space and time to lean into this. And the idea is that we want to create multimedia content, video content that would be ubiquitous, shared anywhere. So imagine whether you're playing dodgeball in the States or in Canada or Malaysia or Australia or in Asia, like wherever you are, we want like a really easy way to share dodgeball because all the real metric for success, I think, for like a sport as a whole is like, do you have new people playing? You know, are there more people playing or are there more people on their way out? And I sometimes get nervous that like our some parts of our Canadian community are like they're
Yeah.
aging out. You know, we don't have like the pipeline. The outlook is a little bleak. You know, so we want to be able to entice or encourage new players as much as we can, youth as well. So creating stuff like that from the tournaments from our leagues, that's a big point of focus for like the coming year. Um, the production, we want the production to be a lot like we started doing like interviews and like some highlight clips from the day of. Um, yeah, these are like it's a lot of improving player experience before and after and even at like I think we do a really good job at the event, but leading up needs work and afterwards needs a little bit of attention too. Um, yeah, I think again I'm like answering the question for that
No, you're
answer.
good.
That's like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Afterwards, as in like cleanup, is that what you're talking about?
No, no, like we have some teams who are like being omitted from pick like our media team like delivered like in excess of like 4,000 photos for a 3-day
Wow.
event, but we still have some teams who like aren't getting adequate coverage, you know.
Mm,
So it's like maybe we need to hire more staff to get better coverage, you
mm,
know. We need to like expand our budget more into like post production so that we can like I would love to tell everybody that you're at least going to get a couple pictures, you know, but we can't really promise it. We're not involved with like the curating. Like our media team ships us all the photos, and all they do is more and more and more and more. But there's always like a little bit like some slip through the cracks, and we're
yeah.
only trying to do better, trying to do better with that. You know?
Yeah. Well, so far, you guys'
Yeah.
media team is like really sick.
Yeah, thank you. We
Yeah.
get a lot of compliments, and they're incredible. Like
Yeah.
everybody, Berg, Dylan, Sarah, Corey, Brett, Brady, Sam, JS, or like our streamers. Everybody's really good. They need more support so they can do more,
Yeah.
and we'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many
Yeah.
I feel like a highlight of you guys' tournament is like the photo booth. I feel like I've seen those
Yeah.
as everyone's profile picture that's been there.
Yeah, so it's funny. Josh Eustace, I think it's Josh Eustace who like said something. He's like, "Yo, how many profile pictures are coming out of your events?" You
Yeah,
know,
for
and
real.
someone asked me, someone had said to me, they're like, "Oh, why don't you watermark your photos? Why don't you like
Mm,
brand your photos so it says Oddball Toronto?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, that's tacky. Just let them have like free for personal use. Like for personal use, like use our photos all you want, you know." And people will ask like, oh, where did that happen or whatever, like let that out, you know. If organizations want to like use the photos, it's like,
yeah.
okay, there's like a let's talk about it. But I think it's really cool that after an event when the photos drop, like a bunch of people's pictures like
Yeah,
go up,
right.
and like even you see like, yeah, it's like it's cool, it's really nice. At the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, we're all just like, we also want some like memories, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like some good times. It's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's really cool.
Yeah. They're also, I mean, they're really great pictures too.
Yeah.
The lighting's amazing. But
The lighting in Pan Am specifically. So it sounds stupid. Like this past Clash, we didn't have the lights all the way up for like the first 2 hours. I like walked in, I was like, are the lights off? Like what's happening? And then you crank them all the way, and it's like, whoa, this
yeah,
is like so bright. And I'm telling you, it's the brightest gym in the country, and like, I've never seen a
really.
brighter gym. Yeah, and it's like the competition the lights go on, and everyone's like, holy hell,
Yeah.
and we all get used to it. But our media team is like, no, no, that's like actually the secret sauce. Like our pictures are only so good because the lighting is like so
Yeah.
incredible. Like, all right, well, whatever, it works.
Yeah. I mean, on stream, it
Yeah,
looks amazing as well.
yeah,
It looks super
yeah,
clear.
yeah.
But going away from the tournaments a little bit, some questions about
Sure,
yourself.
sure.
Where did you start playing dodgeball?
I started. I was in university in 2007, and I played intramural dodgeball, and it was like crazy rules at University of Western Ontario, which is like 2 hours outside of Toronto. and it was like big balls only. The ball was always live. This is the craziest. I have yet to see this anywhere else. The ball's always live, and you play in the volleyball court,
Mhm.
but the entire space is live. So as in I could throw the ball like essentially the space behind you. I could throw the ball on the wall, and if it tagged you in the back, like you were out. If the ball was on the ground and you happened to kick it or touch it, you're out. The ball is always live. Nothing killed the ball. Nothing killed the ball. So it was like this wacky intramural rule set. And I played it for like my first 2 semesters. I came home. I remember I was coming home after my first year, and I was like, dude, what am I gonna do without dodgeball like all summer? That's crazy. And I literally Googled Toronto dodgeball while I was still at school. And the owner of the league at the time picked up the phone and he was like, "Yeah, my name's Lauren." And like I was like, "Lauren, I gotta play dodgeball for the summer. I'm like, I just finished school. Like, what do you have for me?" And I remember jumping in mid-season, mid-league season on like some random team and it was like again very different. But I was so in love with it, man. It was kind
Yeah.
of like it's kind of a I was a gamer as a teenager, and I'm ADHD as all hell, and it felt like an it felt like a sport for too much chaos is fucking happening. Um, but it's like I think dodgeball, the real dodgeball players who thrive are the ones who can like pay attention to seven things happening at once and not feel overwhelmed. When you're very well versed, everything sort of happens in slow. There's so much going on, but to you it's like everything's happening in slow motion. You're very aware,
Yeah.
and that's like that's what really captured my heart. Is like this is chaos and this is so
Yeah.
much fun, and I just want to run around and yeah, yeah,
So I want to ask you this, like, I kind of have a theory of like, are is there a correlation between top players and like players that are gamers as well? Like, I feel like there is like some low correlation right there.
yeah. So here's the core like so if you're an athlete, so it's worth noting, yeah, I was a gamer as a teenager. I was not athletic. I was not athletic at all. I have like huge legs from playing soccer as a kid, but I wasn't I never threw a ball as a kid. I grew up abroad. I didn't play baseball. I didn't play any overhand sports. I didn't play any racket. I played badminton, but um I think gamers, it can work against you. If you think too much, if you
Oh
can't
yeah.
turn your brain off, like the best athletes, I think, like they get into the zone and they just do.
Hmm.
Playing for years. I remember when I first started playing with Jeff Snow, and I would talk to him a little more than he wants to be spoken to. And Jeff doesn't want to think about the game. Jeff just does. Jeff is like Neo jacked into the Matrix, and he's just playing. He doesn't need to think about it. He's just like you try. People are like, Jeff should go on the podcast with you. I'm like, Jeff doesn't want to be on a podcast, bro. He's like, you're right. But if Jeff was ever on a podcast, it would need to be with you because you can pull everything out of him.
Hmm.
And um, it's like when you ask Jeff, he's like, you ask him what he's thinking. He's like, I'm not thinking, man. I'm just fucking playing, just like experience and instinct. And this is like the sort of thing. Um, but I think gamers can be really good players if they apply themselves, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Oh my Siri is like screaming at me. It's I think gamers can be really good. It's yeah. If you apply yourself, you can be a wicked player. It
Yeah.
can work. Yeah. I want to say yes. In my experience, yes, it does. It is a benefit. It is an edge.
Yeah. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, I feel like the top players, at least in the States right now, are they all play games. So
Who are the other gamers? Like I know Dylan. I know Dylan plays. I
Xander,
know Josh,
Elijah,
Xander. Yeah. Okay.
Logan.
What does Eli play?
He plays a lot of CS. He's playing Apex with the
Okay,
boys
of
right now.
course.
So yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. I think yeah, it definitely lends itself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But you kind of mentioned it earlier in your a little about how you started playing, but how did you know you're hooked?
Yeah. It's just this feeling, man. It's just like it was such a high. It was so much fun. It was like running around and like I guess I was good at it too. Like I was
Hmm.
good at it for a rec player. People enjoy things that they're good at, but also I have this I have this like inherent need. Like, I love to compete. I love competition. I love I love talking shit and like either try like in triumphant glory or like fucking falling flat on my face and being like, "Fuck, well, you ate shit. You better get to work and do better." Um, I love that I was reasonably good at it when I started, like for a rec player, and then I loved the challenge. It was fun. Like I think there's few team sports where you're fully interacting with your body is your weapon, or like the opponent is like you've got to kill the opponent. Like in basketball or in soccer, you're like grappling is the right word, but you're hustling around people, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's not like the object isn't to take them out. The object of the game is always like the ball and like scoring. I thought maybe I've never had this is an original thought, but I'm like, am I having a come to Jesus moment? Is like when I was a kid, I played shooters, I played Counter-Strike competitively, and maybe that transition from like that 5v5 to this 6v6 where I'm like I'm
Mhm.
I'm still killing my opponent, right? Like I'm still like I have to kill everybody and then I win the point.
Mhm.
It's like it's kind of the same thing. Maybe that's what hooked me. Yeah, it's probably all of these things together. People were really nice, people were really friendly, and then some people, oh, this is yeah. I was an obnoxious fucking young man. In my 20s, I was such a dick. And I was this person. It was a double-edged sword because I had no cares in the world. I had no worries. I didn't care how anyone felt or what I said or what I did. And it was this is not the right way to live your whole life. You need to fucking grow up. But I had such a good time like beating people and then laughing out loud and having such a good time. And I'd be lying if I didn't say I took some pleasure from other people getting frustrated or other people getting mad. You know what I mean? Like you kind of, I was a class clown when I was younger, and it was an easy laugh. Um, and I wasn't really good at other sports. I wasn't good at sports growing up. Soccer was fine as like a kid. That doesn't really count. But like in high school, I did not play sports. In high school, I played video games. So it was like cool to finally be good, good at a sport, against sport. It's like that. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. No, I definitely understood what you meant. Like I was the same way when I was starting off really early. It was like just having fun, just bullying people essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And it's like it's a nice bullying, right? It's not like you're not really bullying, guys. We're just playing a game, you know.
Yeah,
And it was never high school gym class like trying to make anyone cry or trying to hurt anybody. But it was like safe bullying, like
yeah,
ethical
yeah.
bullying.
Bullying.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Um, can you kind of talk about the Toronto dodgeball community?
yeah. Man, how much time do you have? I feel like the Toronto dodgeball community was kind of like the genesis for like Canadian dodgeball. In a lot of ways, like competitively internationally. Like the joke I don't I don't really care for this. I don't really care for the meme or the running joke that like, oh, Team Canada is just Team Ontario, because really the stuff like kind of started here. We have like a lot of incredible talent across the country. There are a lot of good players in all the provinces. There are a lot of there like Canadian dodgeball has flourished, not a result of like the Toronto scene. But the Toronto scene has had a decent contribution. But it was probably just the biggest community that was organized. Um, and it's now a very old and jaded and maybe like slightly cynical community. We the we have people who move to Toronto from other provinces and they sign up to play in like our leagues, and they're always a little disappointed because where are all these legends who like are all from Toronto? And we're like, yeah, they've been playing league for 10 years and they can't be bothered anymore, you
Yeah.
know? We had a girl come into our league who was like so excited she was finally going to get to play league on a weekly basis with Reckless. And like only like one, two, maybe
Oh,
three if we're lucky will play once in a while, because like man, they're older, they're having kids and they're getting married and they live further away, or they've got busy jobs and they've played league for like 8 9 years. They've had enough.
yeah.
And it's like, do they still play tournaments? Yeah, sure, but they don't need to play league anymore. It's just like not a priority. So the Toronto scene is like still we've had so many young kids come in and the Toronto scene is getting a little bit of a rejuvenation, but it's not like it was in the old school. Like in the old school days, like in the 2011, 2012, every good player was at Thursday night TDL comp and we always had 6 to 8 teams of like solid players. It was like this is when like Jason Mergler and Eric Ceruto and Jeff Snow and Jessica O'Quinn and Lisa Mora and Shauna and like all these players were like coming up, you know.
Mm,
These were all these players were learning to play. And yeah, it was nice. It was like you've heard the phrase like, oh, I wish I could tell you you're in the good old days when you were
yeah.
in the good old days. I try to tell myself that now and be like, man, 10 years from now, you're gonna wish that you were still running tournaments. And I hope that I am. But the Toronto scene is we have the benefit of a lot of like we have a dense population of players, but it's also a huge amount of space and the traffic is miserable and getting
Yeah.
from one side of the city to the other it sucks. And we have a lot of leagues, so like people are playing in all different places. And we have a lot of other great leagues in the city as well. Um, it's I'd say it's well balanced now, but it's aging out, man. It's like I we do have a lot of young kids like interested in playing. Dodgeball Toronto is starting youth initiatives now. Like we're trying to gather enough interest to hit critical mass to do that. Yeah, I wish I had like honestly anybody else from Toronto would be able to answer this question better than I would. Like maybe I should be color commentary, but yeah, that's for the most part it.
Awesome. Um, can you share any memorable moments or experiences from your dodgeball journey?
Oof, man, I got. uh, what are my most memorable experiences from my dodgeball journey? Man, there's so many. Like, what should I? Uh, playing playing with Rampage at nationals was really cool for the couple of years that I got to do that. Um,
Recipes Rampage.
excuse me, recipes. What
Yeah.
was that again?
Rampage. RIP Rampage.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I'm sure we're gonna talk about that later. Yeah, that's like yeah, rest in peace. Rampage was like very, very fond memories for the most part. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like all sunshine and rainbows, but we won convincingly whenever we wanted to. Uh and then playing TOC. My 2 years of playing TOC, it's like that community is something else, man. That can like I remember we went to our first TOC tournament in 2017, and we were talking about how jealous we were of like, man, look at how engaged they are. Look at how many teams they have. Look at how much like, and it was such a spectacle when we went, they weren't playing 7 inch at all. So we were these like outsiders. We went to play their rules, their ball style,
Mhm.
whatever. And we did like okay the first year, and then we made the finals. We made the grand finals the second year, and everybody was so like, holy shit! It's like these Team Canada guys who are like coming to play our shit, and they're like they're actually competitive, and it's like that's my some of my fondest times. Um, this is going to sound really stupid. I didn't play Worlds that year. I wasn't activated in 2019, but being on the squad that year was probably my greatest acceleration from like a modest like I didn't get good until 2018, 2019, and I got really good in that 2019, 2020, and then COVID hit and I just got hurt and I just like
No.
it's all over. I had a very short window of time where I was actually a good player, which is like really sad. But squad 2019 was really nice. Rampage was really fun. Um, coaching the women's team in Austria, that's like being part of that is really, really uh as an old man, I can be like, man, I'm really grateful to be part of this. You know, it's like
Mhm.
there's so much happening here, and there's so many incredible people in one room, and you're just happy to be like a small part of it. And then the win, the win is nice too. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, the win is nice. But like that's probably up there. And then also like coaching future, coaching future, albeit like sometimes a really bumpy ride. But 2 years of coaching future, that's like Shade is one of my best friends. I love Shade. I've never had a bad time with Shade. Like coaching with Shade is just a fucking dream. Like that's like I'm so thank that if you ask me like what's the best thing that's come out of dodgeball, it's like obviously like the relationships, the friendships, and like I'm certain I'm certain some of these people will be speaking at my eulogy. And it's like that's like
That's
what greater meaning or purpose in life than to like find your people, you know? So
amazing.
it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I remember at the thing you guys were there coaching the future. I was like, this is awesome. I think this is like the
Yeah.
future of dodgeball.
Yeah. 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 I wish we did not play well at the thing, man. We had literal moments of genius. Like we had
Mhm.
it's like, yo, it's finally clicking,
Yeah.
it's finally happening. And then we fucking fumbled the bag so hard. Fuck, man. Oh, the thing is like so frustrating. But yeah, it's still like it's competition, man. It's
Yeah.
competition. It's sweet.
Awesome. Yeah. Sad to hear about the COVID kind of ending your peak there.
Yeah, that sucks. It is what it is, man.
I feel like COVID kind of ruined a lot for the dodgeball community in general, though.
Yeah, so me specifically, like I got hurt in December of 2019 and I played through for like a couple of months and then I was still doing reasonably well and then COVID hit and then it's like you don't really get to gym. My injury was like actually a really bad one. Turns out I needed surgery, had the surgery. Turns out I needed another surgery. The first one really didn't fix it. It like became a mess and it's like years of being hurt just like compounds. Like the longer I'm telling you, boys and girls, everybody at home, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Like exercise and like don't take your health for granted. I would do unspeakable things to turn back time to be able to to be able to have the surgery I needed 12 years ago. You know, like
Mm.
I had a tear a long time ago. COVID KO'd me. And like COVID KO'd, man, our league was doing much better before COVID. You know, we had like there were so many people who quit, who stopped playing, who didn't come back. I feel like we were robbed of it, it would have been 2 incredible years of dodgeball for not just domestically, like internationally. Like we lost the worlds. We lost a couple of nationals. Yeah, COVID fucking sucked, but
Yeah.
we're still here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's a little
Uh,
bounce back because yeah, I was gonna say the same way. Like the States, I feel like it was peaking right when COVID hit, and then
yeah,
hit, everyone stopped playing, and it's starting
yeah,
to like we started to bounce back a little bit, but
yeah.
definitely not the same. Um, any specific milestones or goals you like to achieve before you hang it up? Yeah,
Now, like me,
yeah.
I'm never gonna play. I'm never gonna play. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if I could play at a I could never play at a world's level again. There's just no way. There's a world where I could play our club championships like nationally here, like domestically. It's possible. It's like I'm telling you, it's like a 3% chance. It's like it's so cooked. I still have like I probably have more surgeries on the horizon. I have to work so hard. I don't do myself any favors by overloading myself with work and commitments. I need to make I need to make my own wellness like a number one priority. And that might be a 2026 angle, honestly. The next couple of months, I might be like, hey, I need a hard focus on myself.
Mhm.
But like milestones as a player, I think I've achieved the milestones. Like making the squad one year. It's like even though I couldn't play, I was like I was doing really well that year, winning nationals with Rampage. Um, like that final year was really sweet. But I think like as a player, those milestones have been achieved. Um, the milestones for dodgeball otherwise, I'd love for Dodgeball Toronto to have a youth league. I would love for part of the thing that part of the question I didn't answer earlier. Another thing is like, oh, what do you want the tournaments to do better? Is like we want to train refs better. You know, we want to train officials better, and give better instruction. We want to create content. Like I kind of told our Dodgeball Canada board, I was like, hey, Dodgeball Toronto will pay for all of this, do all the labor. If like DC will like promote it, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So it's like that, like milestones I'd like to achieve still are I'd like our tournaments to be sustainable for another 5, 10 years at least. At least, you know. I worry, I worry if there will be enough new players coming in. But I see vibrant leagues out of like Atlanta and Seattle. I see Atlanta and Seattle, and I'm like, man, there's hope, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um, I think like I think leagues in Winnipeg are still going really strong. I see PEI still playing. I'm not sure. I don't see a lot of Quebec, but I'm sure it's happening. Um, I worry that BC is slowing down a little bit, you know. Um, Saskatchewan is still going hard. Like youth dodgeball in Saskatchewan is incredible. I think Winnipeg has stuff going on as well. Milestones is I'd like to see some. I'd like to help this stuff along through. You know, I'd like to serve wherever I can, um, and be a small part of the success. I'd love to. Oh man, it's like I go back and forth between wanting to coach the men's team again. uh, I would love to
Controversy.
coach the men's. Yeah, I would love to coach the men's team and like give that team that the men's team deserves some love and they deserve a win. It's like it's a really hard win to get, but I feel like again our men our men are aging out, you know.
Mm.
And it's like it's now or not never, but it's going to be a while if it's not now. And yeah, I that's probably one thing that eludes me or escapes me in the
Yeah.
moment.
If you
Yeah.
had to choose, would you choose between coaching women's or men's? If you had the choice.
I think I would never even dream or utter the words of head coaching the women's team as long as
Yeah,
Shide
yeah.
is around. If Shide is around, it's zero question. And then also what I've come to learn as well is I have all the dodgeball knowledge in the world. It doesn't really matter if you don't have the right approach or if you don't click or if you don't know how to like disseminate, if you don't know how to inspire or like set good culture and stuff. And I think I'm very rough around the edges, and I think that lends itself more to the men's team than the women's team.
Mm,
If I had to choose between the two, I would be loyal to the women's team because they've had me. You know, I'd
yeah.
be like, I would never turn my back on that, because like that's grace that was offered to me, and I'm like I take care of those who have taken care of me, and it's like yeah, but um, yeah, I'd coach the women first. But if the women were like, hey, we're all set, we're good, you know, if they have their coaching staff and they don't need me, and they felt like we're good without you, like go if they allowed me to, you know, I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to coach the men's team.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the women's team is also on the verge of a three-peat, right?
I hope so. Yeah, I really hope so. We don't know who's coming back. We don't know like who's like there's a lot of again a lot of girls who are like they're on the bubble, be like, yeah, I'll do one more, or I've had enough, or yeah, you know, where worlds might be is like
Yeah, yeah.
is a heavy piece of content right now. We don't know what's gonna happen.
That's
Um
another topic for
yeah,
another day.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Let's not talk about it.
Um, Next question. What advice would you give to someone starting out without sorry. What advice would you give to someone who wants to run a tournament as successful as kickoff in mid-season?
Oof, okay. Start small. 100% start small. Uh, reach out, reach out to like people who have done so successfully and pick their brain. Like reach out to like our team, reach out to Lucas. I feel like TOC has a great community. Um, like don't be shy to ask for help. Like ask for help if you want to run a tournament. And then the tough thing is you've got to pick. We try to be really conscious. Man, we goofed so hard with kickoff. We're on the same weekend as Ascend City. That's like a big
Mhm.
no-no. Don't do that. We didn't realize we've learned from that mistake. Um, place it in a place that isn't conflicting too much, you know. um, and then hopefully start local, you know, start local or semi-local, like you know, like a regional, and see if you have like decent interest. But like your biggest metric for success is just attendance, you know, attendance and engagement. If you can get people to come, then people will pay, and if you have money, then you can do stuff, you know.
Mhm.
But if we only had 60 teams instead of the 82 that we have, we'd have to make a lot of difficult decisions and stuff need to get cut. We either need to raise our prices like crazy, which is like not reasonable, or we need to cut a bunch of stuff. So it's like make sure you have the engagement, and then just don't be afraid to don't be afraid to fucking eat shit if it doesn't go well and just like learn. But I think yeah, reaching out to I think I think there are a lot of people who have done really great jobs successfully who are willing to help and willing to share. So if you want to start, you want to run a tournament, message me or message Lou or message anyone from the Dodgeball Seattle team. I think that'd be those are great places to start.
And that's so great about the dodgeball community where you can just reach out and anyone's willing to help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. I like to think that most people would lean towards like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any gatekeeping in dodgeball right now.
I'd say very little. I'm sure very little. Someone, oh my God, this is so funny. I'm gonna blow him up. Dan Holzer messages me. He's like, bro, do you plug the hole of the ball when you throw it? And we're like, yeah, what are you talking about? Like you plug the nipple of the ball? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. And you're like, what? Why did no one tell me? Like I've been throwing muffins, and like all of a sudden I'm plugging the hole and I'm throwing rockets down. I'll be like, yeah, dude, where have you been? Like anytime, and I was like, anytime I saw one of my teammates piffing a ball, I'd be like, dude, are you plugging the hole before you throw? And Dan was like, "You fucking gatekeeper! Like, why didn't you tell me this?" I'd be like, "I honestly, I thought everybody knew. I didn't
Yeah.
realize." So, for anyone who doesn't plug the nipple, when you have like the luxury of time, don't get me wrong, not every single throw that I threw was like plugging that. But if I had a second, I look under the logo, and under the logo, there's and I plug that so that the ball doesn't like when you're pumping, you're squeezing the ball. And if you squeeze the ball and it deflates and you want to throw it, it's like no, you need to keep the ball full.
No,
Um, yeah,
that's
so
funny.
it's yeah, but it's like apparently there is some gatekeeping, but it wasn't on purpose. I
Yeah,
swear, Dan.
that was definitely
Yeah,
accidental. No one
yeah,
asked.
yeah. Literally, like no one asked.
Um, I know you're the director of Canada Dodgeball, but do you have any opinions on the current state of Canada Dodgeball?
Oof, man, this is gonna get me. You're gonna get me in trouble. I think, I think we're so spoiled in Canada in some ways. Like we have had, I think we have squandered some year. There's a lot of tremendous success that's come out of Canadian dodgeball, and there's been like a lot of like that like at holy airball meme like on
Yeah.
TikTok right now. It's like fucking airball, bro. Like that. Our women's for 3 years, our women's team came fourth, and it was like that was really tough to watch. That was like so heartbreaking. And I think our men's team a lot of people talk shit, be like, "Oh, Jeff ain't shit, Merg ain't shit. Like we can beat these." I'm like, nah, man. Like I think they still have it in them. And I think our team could still definitely compete. Is it hard? Yeah, it's fucking hard. Um, but I think the state of Canadian dodgeball in general is like if you're asking from like a competitive standpoint, it's like all of our really good players are very old. We don't have many years left, and there's gonna be some serious turnover, both men's and women's. I think we have a lot of up and coming talent, but I think there's a pretty steep gap. There's a steep cliff between who's like world's ready, world's competitive, and like who the next generation is. If you like Thanos the top 20 men's and women's teams and mixed teams like players, I think it would take a couple of years for the next generation to step in, you know. But at the same time, they're being gate kept, right? You can't improve without the opportunity. And because we have such staple, high competitive players, a lot of people haven't had the opportunity or like the reps, you know. You look at what's really nice about the new national format is Team Ontario has a lot of wicked players on it that really haven't had a chance at the national program because it's tough to squeeze in. But there are players like I'm really looking forward to seeing Sydney Doyle and Ethan Somerville um, play this weekend because all I hear from practice is like they're popping off and like I they're they're dark horse players who have played for a long time who are finally getting theirs, you know?
Mhm.
And I think that, yeah, I think that's sick. The state of Canadian dodgeball otherwise. Are you asking like from a competitive standpoint? Is that what you meant?
Just like a general question, like the
Well,
community.
we need more youth. We need more
Mhm.
youth. Only Saskatchewan and Winnipeg are really doing youth well. So like East Coast and West Coast, like I think it's modest at best. Um, and then I think this is true worldwide, not specifically to Canadian dodgeball. Um, but I think like like presence in schools. Like right now, there's this our most famous, our most marketable line is, you know the game, now meet the sport.
Hmm.
Schools, for the most part, only know the game and they need to be introduced to the sport. We need that pipeline, but I don't think Canada's doing that well, apart from a couple pockets. But I don't think anyone's doing that well anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe Hong Kong. We have so many kids. We have so many Hong Kong kids in our Toronto league. And it's like it's a national. I believe it's a national sport. Don't bite my head off if I'm wrong about that, but I believe it's a national sport there.
Yeah.
Um, so that the things that we're doing really well. I've kind of only been shitting on it. The things that we do really well. We're like encouraging a lot of coaching. We have like a lot of refs stepping into like referee roles. We're organizing a lot of events. I think we have a lot of, for the first time, I think I think in the previous 5 years, or like if you go back to 2018, 2019, all the people who would retire, they would just kind of peace out. I think there's a lot more retention now where people are aging out of playing, but still hanging around to coach, hanging around to ref, to organize, do all these sorts of other things, um, to be involved in like director positions, wherever that may be. Um, yeah, I think we still have a very tight knit community. Everyone, for the most part, everyone likes everyone
Yeah.
for the most part.
For the most part.
It's like not everybody gets along, sure.
Yeah.
Um, but life's tough. Life's tough, and I think we find a way to like look on the bright side, and still persevere.
That's awesome. Speaking of the youth, I remember that youth tournament that happened a while back. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Um, that was awesome to watch. And I wonder if there was gonna be like any talks about another one gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen in Canada again, but it was great to see.
yes, yeah. So I think that there's going to be another youth world championship. Canada has spoken about doing a youth Canadian youth like domestic. Maybe it would be a maybe it would be a North American thing. I don't think that's out of the question. But we've talked about doing that domestically. I'm sure that'll happen again. They've got their hands full with Worlds right now, but I'm
Yeah.
sure in 2020, I would bet good money that in 2027 there will be another youth championship somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you mentioned Hong Kong, that they were dominant there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So now that's all the questions I have. We'll move on to the crowdsource
Okay.
questions.
Okay, great.
Thank you to everyone that sent in questions. I really appreciate it. Uh, we'll start with the Instagram crowdsource.
Sure.
Nathan Wu, two
Yep.
questions.
Yep.
One, how can reffing and dodgeball be improved to the highest level, e.g., Malaysia blocks, yellow cards, and invalid throws?
Yeah. So that only comes with reps. Like the only people who can really officiate the Malaysian blocks and the invalid throws are people who are either very experienced. Like if you were never a high level player, it doesn't mean that you can't officiate this, but you need to have seen it a lot and understand. Like you need to be really bought in and in tune. Um, I I I ref all of our end game matches at our tournaments, and it's people. We've had the invalid throw argument a lot, and it's like, well, how do you discern? How do you tell? And all the ref training that I do, the ref training, like I use that term softly, but all the ref training that I do is like you need to see it in advance. You need to see like what the situation is, and if someone's trying to suck out too hard, you're allowed to index on your defense, but if you're very clearly not trying to play, and experience will be able to recognize that because you've either seen that situation many times before or you've been in that situation. I've been the player trying to suck out the clock. I know exactly what that looks like.
Mm.
I've been that weasel. So it's like you can now that there's someone who, or like a team of people who are like, um, have the attention to give this, we're always dealing with something. We've gotten the luxury of the point where like we have attention to deal with this because there's nothing. It's a really the foam rule set has like some problems. And one of them is I think this can apply for foam and cloth or any real rule set is, oh, you're up with a certain amount of time to go. And I can just like, oh, I'm just gonna hide here and not play, like really not play. And it's like that sucks to watch. That sucks
Hmm.
so hard. Like anybody who's watching that is like,
Yeah.
how the fuck is this allowed? And then anybody who's playing that, it's like, I remember, okay, another Michael Laziak drop. I remember Mike like 7, 8 years ago, he'd be like, if if he gave us, for instance, if the score is 4-4, or score is 5-4 you, the score is 5-4 you, and there's 5 seconds left, do you throw the ball in a 1v1? Do you throw the ball and make an attempt, or do you just hold the ball and time it out? And at the time, I was like, "Oh, you hold the ball, you time it out, you fucking won. Get fucked." And he's like, "That's poor sportsmanship, and you're a coward if you do that." And I remember arguing with him about it. And then at a certain point, my mental shifted, because there's two kinds of players, I think. There's players who want to win, and there's players who want to be really good. And some players want to win, and they don't care if they're good or not. They just want to win. They will be like, I don't care if I got the forfeit win. I don't care if I won on technicality, still won scoreboard. Like, fuck you, you know? And
Hmm.
there are players who want to be the best, who want the respect of their peers, be like, undeniably, this person's good. Undeniably, this person's a great player. This person doesn't weasel the clock, doesn't spike balls, doesn't like try to whine to the refs and like all this other shit. It's like these players or team are undeniably good. And I think there's far more virtue in the latter. So you don't want the sport. I'm really getting off topic. Holy fuck.
You're good.
It's like you don't want you want the sport to always be exciting. You want to like, okay, you can index on your defense, but make valid attempts. And when I'm refing the end games of our tournaments, there are situations. And even before you see it, I'll tell the teams, if you don't put the ball on target or if you're not trying to hit, I'm gonna call you out. And it only results in more exciting games that come down
Mhm.
to the wire because everybody's still trying to play. Everybody's still trying to win. The same with the Malaysia block. It's like tough. You got to watch it. You need experience. You need to see it. The long-winded answer is you need more people who want to ref. You need more people to like to step into the role and to like volunteer their time or to just put their hand up to be paid to ref. And there are a lot of good refs. There are a lot of good refs who just won't do it very much because they're selfish. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, just help. You know, like you've taken so much, just give a little back. Like you're so good at this, just help.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, pay me more. I'm like, man,
Pay
just
me more.
fucking, like, yeah, like are you? You're cooked, man. You're cooked.
Yeah, I would say
I'm not gonna
roughing is
burn anybody, but yeah,
yeah, I
it's
was gonna say
hard. It's
roughing
hard.
is tough, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Especially when you get backlash from the players yelling at you.
Yeah, but you have the right. If the organizers of the tournament have your back, and it's like, yo, you got to have a little bit of thick skin,
Hmm.
but as you get more reps, you will get more confident in yourself. As you are more confident in yourself, the teams will respect you more as a referee and as an official as well. And even if you blow a call, I'll say it so frequently, be like, yep, that might have been a blown call, but we're moving on. Just play and just focus. Instead of harping on this moment 5 minutes into a game, they play for the next 30 and it's a wicked match and you get to watch it. But you have to be willing to take a little bit, just a little bit of abuse, a little bit,
Yeah.
like anyway,
And the second question is ask Mark what team is the best team all time in the world?
like country or club or
I don't know. Ask Mark what team is the best
oh
team all
man.
time in the world.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get so ripped on for this. Okay. So our last year's last year's women's team for Canada is the best women's team that will ever play. Those 12 to 14, no one will ever you'll all carry our fucking towels as long as we play. Like that's the fucking that women's team is goaded.
I mean, they showed how dominant
Um
they were. So,
yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying they can't lose,
mhm.
but I'm saying they'll always win. uh so men's team like likely, and I go on my romantic notions in my head, whatever. The like the performance matters, the delivery matters, the performance matters. I think that as much, oh, I hate saying this so much. It's like it's a really close call between the US men's team, like the nine in 2015,
Mhm.
and the 2019 US men's team. I think it's between those two.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I I have I have Canada up there, but I feel like the way we played and the way we deploy, it's like you don't. you got to walk the walk if you're gonna if you want the respect. We just didn't execute.
Mhm.
Um, so that's for like the men's team. Um, is like it's between those two. Don't make me. It's like it's so hard because Eli Eli's the GOAT, man. Eli's the best player. Like Eli's the best player. It's not even a conversation. It's not even close. But he didn't play at the same time that Nate did.
Mhm.
And like Nate had a lot of competition. Like when Nate was one of the top five players, there were a lot of other good players who were like in the conversation. Um, but like the difference between those two, it's really close. It's
Yeah.
really close. Um, but we're talking about teams as a whole, guys. Like don't bite my head off. Don't like club team, club team. Like I think Rampage is goated. I think Rampage that 2022, like man, we weren't healthy. We were so old and hurt, but we still did it. Um Rampage, prime Rampage. Doom, you can't argue with like the Doom. Like Doom won more money. Like the Doom on trampolines, it
Yeah.
was just like, yeah. Doom is Doom is probably the best club that will ever like Nate fucking said it, and he's annoying. He's
Yeah.
annoying because he's right. He's annoying because he's right, and we'll never be able to like say otherwise. Like his win rate, blah blah blah. Like
Yeah.
cool. Um, women's team, women's club team. Oh man, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Like Valkyrie has played really well, but I still give it to Reckless. I still give
Mhm.
it to Reckless, and people will call me a simp. I don't care. Uh, I think like prime Reckless wins, but Reckless is like a hurricane. Reckless is like hurricane and monsoon season coming in and out like
Mhm.
this, and Valkyrie is a very steady hand.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know how that again, Canada's so spoiled in this regard. We have like these long-standing club teams.
Mhm.
I don't think the American scene is like getting there, you know. I think the American club scene is just now starting to have like outsiders has been consistent for several years. So is Shred. Um, I'm not really familiar with like a lot of the women's club teams in the States. So I don't have a good answer,
Yeah. There's
but
been a
it's
lot of
like,
mix up,
yeah, yeah.
but I mean, those are all great answers that you put. Went in depth.
What,
uh,
sorry?
you said you went into depth with like certain like
Yeah,
categories and everything.
yeah, it is what it is, man.
um, Next question is from Kalen Esterbooks.
Of
Please
course.
explain the situation at 2022 Nationals versus New Era, and please
Yeah.
release the footage. Also
Oh my
says,
God.
also say to tell you to take care of his knee and stop wearing tights.
Yeah, okay. I'll live and die by the tights. It's like if you're not only wearing tights, you're not really trying to win. There's few people. Yeah, if you get every time you get tagged in the shorts, that's a hit that I didn't need to take.
Mhm.
Anyway, the tights aside, uh, what happened with New Era? Oh my God, man, this is gonna be like a 15-minute monologue. What was the second? What, take care of my knee, New Era,
Yeah.
and then the tights. Okay, take care of my. Yeah, I'm doing my best. Okay, the New Era thing. Okay, so here's what happened. Um, so going into 2022 nationals, we had 2 years off. So 2020 got canceled, 2021 got canceled. And I believe New Era was a team going into 2020, but Nationals got canceled. We never got to play them. So they were a new team that was built. I forget the team. I forget the names of the teams that like it was like Red River and all these other like decent. It was funny for years. Manitoba would come to nationals, now called clubs, and their number one/two teams wouldn't do really well. They'd always disappoint. But their number three, I think it was like their number. It was maybe their number two and three, but their number three team always did so well. Their number three team was always like, and then I think Manitoba stopped doing selection committees. They just let the players decide who to play with. So New Era was formed, and they were like supposed to be the next big team out of Manitoba. And they played their local leagues. Like Winnipeg's got a really solid league scene. Like all of their club teams play leagues on the weekly, I think. They have like men's leagues and women's leagues, and they play comp. So they play together. We don't really do that in Ontario for the most part, because we're scattered, because we're old, because we're cynical. Um, so New Era had like won their qualifier like in both years, and then the 2020 when it was canceled, and then 2022 they had won there, and they'd been playing leagues, and they were they were undefeated. They had never lost a match in league qualifiers wherever. They hadn't played the entire country yet, but domestically, and they had an obscene record. I will get to it. So leading into so nationals that year was in Edmonton. And it's the first nationals in 2 years because of COVID, like almost three, like 2019, from 2019 March until June of 2022, there had not been a nationals. So it's been 3 years since we got a tournament. And then everyone's like Rampage has had a couple injuries. We have like some aging players. Like it was we were looking vulnerable, and that team, Rampage Havoc, like that team had never lost nationals before. So coming into and everyone's always talking big coming into this tournament. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's our fucking year. We're gonna fucking win," you know. Like everyone likes to talk shit, and I would always, it's like, "Yo, guys, you've never done any of this. Where's the ego coming from? Where's the ego?" And like, I can already hear people be like, "Yeah, Mark, it's really tough to talk shit when you're standing behind Jeff and Merg." And like, you know what? First of all, put some respect on Cam's name. Second of all, second of all, uh, yeah, I'm here too, bro. I don't like anyway. So so coming into the tournament, a lot happened. So teams were like some teams are talking big, you know, hardest foam was like talking big. New Era is talking big. And the tournament was a 3 day event, and we had New Era halfway into the second day in round robin. Like we were on like that collision course, I think. I don't know if we knew it at the time or if it was a crossover game. I can't remember if it was like scheduled in advance or whatever. Anyway, but the first day we watched them play a little bit, and they are obliterating teams. But they're obliterating like some newer teams who are having their first nationals, you know, and they're beating certain like it's okay to like beat your chest and celebrate when you're playing the other big dogs. But they were playing rookies. They were playing rookies winning 10-0, 11-0, and beating their chests about it and like celebrating. And I was like, man, have some fucking class. You know, this is real. This is such a bad look because some of these guys, they're just playing their first nationals. They're playing some of their only like competitive dodgeball ever. And it's like, you're just gonna send these people out the door, you know? It's like, no, read the room and know who to like and maybe because they thought we were watching, or maybe because they thought other people were watching, or maybe because they just wanted to hype themselves up. You know, it's like, fine. That's like, you know, but we all see that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna shut you up. So they played against Z Warriors the first day, and they were getting touched. Like there were like some points that were like, that was really sus. That was really fishy. And there was like, I'm not gonna paint with a broad brush, but we saw a couple of their players getting touched very clearly, and the refs weren't catching it. It was it happens. It happens, right? Like it's not like there's rarely 100% clean tournament. Like there's anyway, but we saw that and it's like this is fucking. So it boiled our blood a little bit because they were playing Z Warriors, who were like they're our hometown like brother team. You know, they're a lot of our friends, and they're our competition when we play against them, but we're rooting for them otherwise. So we saw that we didn't like that. I didn't like that. Um, so our blood was boiling a little bit, and we had like we we came off. So we come into the second day, and we have New Era in the middle of the day. We were like we're undefeated on day one, and then we drop our first game day two, and we're like fuck okay. And there's more to that, but I'll leave it aside for now. And then we tie another game that we definitely should have won. Like we're like absolutely dropping the ball. And then we like really, really come together and like we tighten up. Like we were playing down. We were playing down earlier in the day because we thought we had easier matches. And then we're like, no, okay, these are the big dogs. So it's like the A teams going out there, we're all fired up. And some of these guys, one guy in particular, his name's Austin Woods. This guy's a menace. This guy's a terrorist. This guy's such a fucking notorious shit talker. And don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. But like this guy's such a bully to like people who are like, man, just like pick on someone your own size. So the game starts, and I have this all recorded. It will drop at one point. Like I have this all filmed, and we've teased the documentary as like who really wants to watch this shit. Like this thing's gonna get 100 views maybe, but I think eventually if we do it well enough. Anyway, the match starts. The match starts, and in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm gonna make an example. I'm gonna make an example. Like I'm gonna bully them. Hopefully we're winning, but I'm going to bully them the way that they've been bullying other teams. And we start the first point. We start the first point and we come out really hard and we we win very decisively. And I remember like I probably lit the match where I whipped a ball, I flicked a ball, I like backhanded a ball into their bench, and I was like, "Hey Austin, I can't fucking hear you, buddy," and I like flick a ball at their bench just to like fight, just to pick like a little like just a little trash talk. And then the next point, the opening rush starts. And again, we're all old, we're all slow. So we started this thing where you put all three balls together and we just send one of our guys to go get the balls. So he would go, he'd get the balls. He cleared it himself. His name's Kenneth Thing. He plays for Saint Elite now. But Ken was literally our solo runner. So Ken goes, grabs balls, clears, throws, and he throws and he hits Jesse. And then Jesse's like, "Oh, you weren't clear." He's like, "No, no, I cleared it. I fucking hit you." And he's like, "Bye, see you later." Like, bye. And he starts like taunting him. And none of us noticed this in the moment. When this is happening live, we had no idea this was happening because this is going to sound like this is going to be a long story for this ball also doubled Nick Grenier in the back. And I see this and I'm in the back of the court and I'm screaming at Nick. I'm like, "Hey, you got fucking touch." I'm like, I can't grab at my pants because you won't see it, but I'm like grabbing my pants, being like, "Yeah, you got fucking doubled. Like, get the fuck off." Um, so it's like we came out with very, very hostile. Maybe me, Ken was participating a little bit. We didn't even know it in the moment, but we came out like very like hostile, like
Mhm.
aggressive energy. Um, so it gets a little chippy, and then we're in like the third or fourth point, and it's maybe a 2 point game at that point, and I throw an early cross at Austin Woods, who very, very clearly as day gets tagged. Like it's like ball, forearm, elbow up, and the ball goes. And I hit him clear as day. His teammate crosses me, and I'm like, I'm dead. And I'm dead. I'm like, fine, that's fine. That's like we're up numbers, and I've killed him. Like we're good. And I get up to walk off, and he literally backs up smiling and like flips me off. And I'm like, all right, well, fucking cool. So I flip him off back and I gesture a little bit. Like I put my hand on my crotch and I gesture a little bit, being like, "Yeah, you like fuck you, you know." Um, and it's like it's at this point, like I'm on the sidelines a little bit, like kind of chirping a little bit. We win a tight point. We win a tight point, but it's at this point that like the captains get called in. The captains get called in and they're like, "Hey, this is turning hostile. Like both teams, it's like final warning, like stop, like everybody stop." So Merg comes back from the huddle and looks at me and everybody else is like, "All of you fucking stop it. Like no more, no more, nothing." So we play out the first half and then it's whatever. And then we start into the second half and it's still big energy. Like we're still cheering big hits and we're still making big hits and we're like we're over celebrating just a little bit, but it's like it's all reasonably tame. And it's like a 20-minute game. It's not a very long game. It's like a 20-minute game. And we're up maybe 4-2. Or we're up 3-2 and we're about to close it. And I think it was maybe Dan. I remember someone made a clutch catch. Like all of us threw and we gave all six balls. And their last pair made a clutch catch to bring in Nick Grenier. So Nick Grenier comes in. It's 3-2 Rampage. It's 3-2 Rampage with like 3 minutes left on the clock. And Nick Grenier comes on and he's got all six balls. And our side is only Merg, Mike, and Jeff. So it's like if this guy wins this point, if this guy rifles and like it's at this point, I think Nick is playing his first nationals, and he's got a fucking wicked cannon of an arm. This guy's a
Mhm.
killer. So he throws the first ball, like throws one ball, rifles Jeff and murders Jeff, and then throws a second ball right away. And if you know Michael Laziak, this guy catches, and Mike Cold catches him. And we know right there, match is over. It's like less than 3 minutes to go. You guys have to win 2 points, or you have to win this next point in less time. And there's no way we'll let you do that. So we're like, match is done. You guys are cooked. Like we win. And it's funny because like as that catch gets made, me and Merg are in like, and one day when you guys see the documentary, this will very much be in it. One day when you see the footage, you can see me and Merg like dancing in circles, like dancing around each other like a couple of fucking like morons. And we're like, ha, we win. And we just start like dancing like idiots. But unbeknownst to us, Mike gets up. So he catches the ball. He's like on his knees down, gets up. He like holds the ball out like this and like drops it and then waves. He like waves at Nick. And I can't like I have to do this like I have to back up. Like it's like the most obnoxious like waves at Nick like this. And then he like looks at New Era's bench and then waves at all of them as well. And Nick, we talked about this almost immediately afterwards. Like it was all good after the match, but at the after party anyway. But uh Nick was like, listen, I don't care if you're chirping me, I don't care if you're taunting me, but as soon as Mike went to taunt his team, he got triggered as all hell. So he storms across the court, he storms on our side and gets in Mike's face. And Ken very quickly is like Ken tries to like diffuse it, like just he puts his hand. It's such like this is such stupid shit because people like saw pictures of it and like he had his hand like here, like just being like, "Hey man, it's okay, calm down." And people were like, "Oh, did you see Ken choking Nick Grenier?" Like he had his like it's such stupid shit. It's also worth noting. I'm telling the story really horribly. Um, a crowd had amassed for this match. Like it had only gone like everybody, like there's like a second floor and everybody's watching. This was so much fun to be a part of. This was such a good time that was like later dampened by some other unfortunate circumstance. But so this like so Nick rushes the side of the court, like walks over, gets in Mike's face, and Mike's like, What are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do?" And New Era's bench clears and like joins in, and like some of New Era's spectators, like the crowd, and a like small little huddle of like 20 people maybe forms, and nobody's throwing punches or anything, but Mike and Nick are in each other's faces. Ken's trying to be like, "Yo, chill, guys, chill, it's all good." In the meantime, Merg and I are dancing like morons still in the back, and then we turn around and we realize, oh, holy shit, what the hell's going on? Oh, stop, 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 stop. So I very quickly get in and be like, yo, absolutely not. This is not what we're doing. Merg grabs Mike and walks off with him. At one point, we had gotten a warning where like Dwayne, who was like Dodgeball Canada president at the time, he comes in like 10 minutes before this happens. He's like, "Hey guys, this is bullshit. Like, stop it."
Mm.
I remember very clearly as day. You can kind of see it on the film. I was like, Dwayne, they've been beating their chests like gorillas and they've been assholes all tournament. No one's saying anything. We're finally just matching their energy, and now it's a problem. Like, whatever. I remember like rationalizing it. Anyway. So this like fight breaks out. Oh my god, huge fight, when really it was like nobody even raised a fist,
Mm.
Like everybody was just like this, and it lasted all of 5-10 seconds and was very quickly dispersed. And then we played the we played the last point afterwards. There was like 2 or 3 minutes left on the clock, and we played the final point afterwards. Um, and then that was it. We won that match. we we went home and watched them. We had a videographer following us that weekend. So we had one camera in the corner. We had a GoPro over there. He had a handheld. Like I have all of this from 17 different angles with the audio. It's like it's so we went home that night and we watched all of it. And that's when we saw the opening. Like everyone thought I was the instigator and like maybe flicking the ball at their bench. Like that's I think that's fucking hilarious, but whatever. But Ken like waving at this guy, being like, "Bye, you're out, see ya, bye." And it was like Ken is this mild mannered man of faith, religious. He had 2 kids at home at the time, married man, like paramedic. Like this guy is salt of the earth. There's nobody on this planet who doesn't love Ken. Like this guy is so sweet and so kind, and nobody would have bet. You could have given me a 1,000 to 1 odds. I would have taken that bet every time that Ken is never going to talk shit or whatever. And he got in their face and he was like, "Nah." And we saw this in the footage that night, and we're like, Ken, it was you. Like you did all this. You fucking and we had a laugh about it. But yeah, that's essentially what happened. Is like we had a competitive match, and here's a big part of it. So afterwards, Mike tells us later that night. I forget who it was. It was one of the New Era guys, like in the washroom in passing. They're both at the urinals or something. And this New Era guy is talking to Mike, and he's like, "We were 116 and 0. We were 116 and 0 before we played you guys, and like that was our first loss in like over 100 games." And then so we're like, okay, well, tough shit. We don't lose at nationals. I don't know. Like that sucks. And then what's funny is we met them. So we met them in semifinals. Again, we were on like we met them in semis. And before the game even starts, oh man, this is fucking toxic. Okay. So before the game even starts, the refs are all huddled in and the captains are in. And I was coaching Rampage, so I was like in the huddle, and I was like, "Hey, are we gonna play clean match? Because like we want to play clean. If you want to play clean, do you want to play clean and like not? Do you want to play a proper game?" And I was like, "I'll go tell all my guys. You get touched, you go off. If you go tell your guys the same thing." And we were doing that. We were doing that anyway, for the most part. Um, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And then uh, they did like to their credit, Jesse went to his team and was like, "Yo, if you get touched, like get the hell off the court." And there was like a notorious cheater or two. I won't out like I won't do that. But there was a dude who like all of a sudden in round robin, this guy blocked everything. This guy could not get hit possibly. And in playoffs, all of a sudden the semifinals, every ball we throw a solo ball at this guy, and this guy's going off. Like this guy was the easiest person to hit all of a sudden. And everyone's looking at each other and be like, how are we hitting him so easily? I'd be like, because he's learning to block in our fucking playoff games. This guy's learning to block now for the first time. And it's like obviously he's gonna go off. Like obviously he's getting hit. And it was a tight game. We won like 8-4, 9-4, something. Like we sucked out the clock. We were up +3 with like 6 minutes to go, and we forced them to make mistakes, and we won the game. And then we were like, well, I guess they have 2 losses now on their record. But like that's for the most part, I might be missing a couple details, but for the most part, that's like the new era the new era rampage at like nationals Edmonton 2022. That for the most part, that's it. I'm sure there are parts I'm missing. If it comes to me, I'll ADHD in. But it was so much fun. We had such a blast playing. We were all dancing and drunk at the after party afterwards as well. It wasn't like there wasn't like beef. It was like they didn't care. They were like, we're all adults. We're all like old men. We thought they were old too. They're not. They're much younger. We didn't realize. Like sometimes you're like, wait, are we the bad guys? Are we the like? Because we're all 35 plus bullying a bunch of 20-year-olds at a dodgeball tournament. Like, are we the assholes? I think we're the assholes. And that's kind of the realization that we had. I didn't. We thought they were all old like us, and they're far younger. And I was like, okay, well now we're pricks. Now we're fucking dickheads. But it was a fucking blast.
That's awesome. That sounds like an amazing time, especially for the crowd
Yeah.
there.
And
I,
everybody was like, "Oh my god, did you see the fight? Did you see the fight?" It's like, dude, there was no fight. It was a kerfuffle at best. It was like a fucking like it was not like they got we got like a couple of yellow cards after the fact. To be fair to like I think this was a situation where the officiating wasn't like didn't match the energy. We had refs who I think were a little deer in headlights, didn't know how to handle the situation. So it was tough for them. We didn't make it easy for them. It's not fun. It's not nice to be in that situation. But it's like steel sharpens steel. Like you need to for anything to move forward, for anything to progress. And some people will say, "Oh, that's not progression if you're like fighting, if you're talking shit, whatever." I think there should be a little bit of shit talk. There should be a little bit of trash talk. And it's like you need to get some reps. I don't know. But it was yeah, that's it. That's for the most part it.
I think it's time to release the footage.
Yeah, I honestly, man, it would be so lame to just upload the footage without like cutting it and like doing a little bit of like office style documentary, And we started filming it and we put it down. Like we just got too busy.
Yeah.
But it will get done. I promise. I promise it'll get done. I'll say 3 years. Within 3 years, we will release a high quality documentary, which is like Rampage's Last Dance,
Yeah.
and it'll be of like our run that tournament because we filmed all of it and we actually got the win. It was pretty nice, pretty like thankful to have that. But the footage, I've watched that match over like 20 times. I've like shown people bits and pieces, telling the story as the
Hmm.
footage. And it's like you should see all different people's perspective. It's so funny to watch. So the New Hero guys, they were laughing. I remember Kyle Lavoie, when their bench cleared, you expect Kyle to get in there, and Kyle wasn't. He was in the back like this. He's like laughing, and he was explaining to someone. I was like, "Oh, the guy just waved, and everyone got mad and ran in." It's like it's so funny. Kyle's fucking hilarious. And then you see Merg and I dancing like morons in circles, and be like, "Oh shit, wait, what's happening?" It's like it's so funny. The footage will see the light of day. I have it backed up and backed up. I would not let this die. It'll yeah, one day it'll come out.
Oh man, that'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Next question is from Tegan Pegs. Do you have any specific things slash rituals you do pre-game to get yourself into the right headspace to play?
Yeah, sorry. Is it the when I played my absolute ritual was oatmeal, blueberry, peanut butter. If I had oatmeal, blueberry, peanut butter for breakfast, if I ate that the morning of, I always had energy for the full day. I always like I didn't always play really well, but I very, very rarely played poorly. I can count on one hand the bad matches I had. I was always at least medium or like average or decent or contributing reasonably, being the support player or playing my team's role, um, playing my role for my team. But if I didn't have that meal for breakfast, and I don't think it was a superstition thing, I think it was a nourishment thing. It's like
Hmm.
if I had like the natural oatmeal, like no unsweetened, no like no brown sugar, nothing, like just the oatmeal, plain oatmeal with peanut butter, blueberries, and like yogurt sometimes, that sustained me for the day. If that was my first meal of the day, I would obviously eat otherwise as well. But if I had that meal for the beginning of the day, I always killed it. I always like performed. I always output.
Nice. And then I guess I wanted to add on to that question is do you do any pre-game to get yourself ready to run a tournament?
Uh, Man, I wish I slept more. No, pregame, like pre-tournament, it's like you realize at a certain point you're like, fuck, I forgot that. All right, well, okay, like what can we do? You know, like just let's just do the best we can. When you the there's no pre-tournament, there's literally just the entire tournament is like just be as present as you can, give as much, put out as many of the fires as you can as they come up. Make sure you're giving attention to the big things. Um, but there's no ritual. I wish I had time to get a haircut or I wish I had time to sleep a full night before a tournament. I might get to for kickoff, honestly. We're getting really good at the organizing and we're yeah, so it's yeah, I wish I had an answer to that question. Maybe I'll start doing something and be like, oh, this is like, yeah, I need to have the oatmeal and it's probably the oatmeal and blueberries. I should probably do that again.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Continue the
yeah,
tradition.
yeah.
All right. Next question is from Kaimani Atkinson,
Yeah,
who sent in
Kaimani.
a ton of questions.
Yeah, Kaimani's fetish is questions. Like I'm sure there's 20 questions because Kaimani is probably the biggest dodgeball fan that exists, and he's got nothing but a kind heart. And he he lives and breathes. So if you ever talk to Kaimani and he's asking you anything, he genuinely cares. He genuinely wants
Yeah,
to know, and he's yeah, that's what I'll say about Kaimani.
that's awesome. But let's get into the bulk of these questions.
Sure, yeah, sure, hit me with
First one of many.
it.
As someone who's been a part of one of the strongest Canadian teams to have ever existed, what can you say to the audience about the core traits that go into being one of the top teams and staying there for many years?
uh, I remember when I joined the team again. I was a very cerebral player. I talked way more than I needed to, and I had a lot of frantic energy that like a lot of like urgent energy that I shouldn't have had. I say with like the Red Bull in my hand. I had a lot of frantic energy. I had a lot of frantic energy that wasn't constructive at times. Like sometimes helpful, sometimes urgency good, but Rampage was a championship pedigree. Like we've been here so many times. We know what we're doing. Just trust yourselves the biggest, we were never worried. We were never worried. There was never a moment that I played with Rampage, whether we were losing, whether we even ended up losing. We lost provincial finals twice when I was on the team. Um, but we never counted ourselves out. We were never worried about the what if. And there was never frantic energy. Like Mike said to me, he's like, yo, none of these guys need to be spoken to or told what to do or how to do it. We just need to be calm and just do our job because we know what we're doing. It's like it's really shitty advice to give to someone. Be like, hey, if you want to win, just remember that you can win and that you've done it before. But if you've never won, if you like winning, to be a winner, you have to have won already so that you know what it feels like, so that you know that you can do it, so that you know that. And we all, I think, for the most part, we were all so egotistical that we thought it belonged to us. We're all like, don't get me wrong, we still all worked very hard, but we're like, no, we're entitled to this because we're the best. And that's what we believed and we thought. And you listen to Nate and I was gonna say Nate and Pine. I didn't hear Pine talk like that, but you listen to Nate and Nate, that's how Nate thinks and that's how Nate talks. And you talk to Carlos Gunting or like Ryan McLaughlin in Australia or Malaysia, and these guys all think like that. They all think I'm better than you, and I'm gonna show you. So like traits for the team is like being on the same page, having good and decisive leadership. You don't. Rampage had moments where it was like not everybody. I'm sure not everybody was happy, but it's the team's needs before the individual. It's like maybe you're not getting the playing time you want, or maybe you think you deserve more than this or whatever. Sometimes your bench is five players deep and there's only room for one person to cycle in, and it's like you gotta know your role and you gotta know your place. And you don't nobody nobody earns anything with words. You earn with action. And it's like put up and done. It's like you never had to nobody ever got onto a good team by talking about how good they were. Only get onto good teams when they get noticed for playing well. Like just go play well. And yeah, so I don't know. Like the same you want to be a championship team and you're not winning tournaments, stay and watch the people who are winning. Pay attention to what they're doing. Ask them what you're missing. Because I bet you more often than not, come to me. I'll tell you what you're missing. But I bet you more often than not, like the teams who are winning, if you went to Eli and you're like, "Hey, Eli, can you watch one of my games and tell me why I suck or tell me why I need to do better?" I bet you tell you. But ask the players who are winning tournaments what you're missing, or what you need to be doing better.
Yeah, that was a beautiful response.
Thanks, man. They're good questions. Thanks, Kaimani.
Next question. You've had immense success with your leagues and tournaments over the years and being a staple in not only the Ontario dodgeball scene, but also in all of North America. What do you wish more people understood about the work that goes into the successful brand and maintaining it?
Um, Very, very rarely. This is like, I hate giving a negative answer. I'll give a positive answer afterwards, but I'll start with the negative one. Or maybe I should sandwich it, but this one just comes to mind. I'm just going to get it out. Um, More often than not, sorry, no, no. Very rarely will this happen where people assume negative intent when like we make a mistake or we miss the mark with something. And there was like our first or second tournament, we got the women's lines wrong. Like it wasn't, we thought it was 5 feet, but it was actually 3 point something or whatever from the back of the men's court. And then it got back to us that like one of the teams had said, "Oh, you guys don't care about the women's game. Like, it's like classic. Like all you guys care about the men's game." And I heard that and I was like, "Oh my God, like I can't believe someone thinks that." Like absolutely not. Like we're not mean. We're dumb. Like we made a mistake here. Like I'm so sorry. Like we're really stupid. Like I'm so and I went and spoke to that team and I sat down in front of all of them and I was like, "Hey, I just want you to know we care so much that everybody is happy. we didn't like we didn't think we were being lazy. Didn't think like we thought we had this right. We're just stupid. I promise you, we're just stupid. We're not like not giving it attention. We thought this was correct. We're gonna fix it." And we like went like midday. We're like we go to fix it. We go to address it. But we're like I went to like if someone's complaining or like we've made a mistake, I'll go and like I'll absolutely own it. I won't try to make an excuse. Be like, yeah, we fucked up. We're so sorry. We're gonna fix this. What can I do to, So it's like the sometimes organizing the events, like you wish you had more time. Like with time and money, you can accomplish anything. And the money, it's like, man, we've had so much every tournament, we end up spending more money than we have to make the event as great as we possibly can. Um, but we always miss the mark. Like we had scheduling was really good for a couple tournaments, and the scheduling was really shit um, for the women's division at kickoff last year. As an example, it's like, okay, well, we were doing really well, but we have to learn this. There's never. I wish people understood that like there are teams that didn't get photos. There are teams that weren't photographed. And they remember being photographed. They've messaged us saying, like, hey, I remember the photographers like being on our court, but I'm not seeing any of our photos. And it's like, oh, I didn't make the cut. It's like I wish people would ask or be curious or inquire and just like not assume negative intent or not assume that we're being stupid or incompetent rather than we're being malicious. Because I promise it's never that. It's at least as far as we're concerned, as far as dodgeball's concerned, we're never acting with malice. It's just like we either ran out of time or we're doing our best or we missed something. So there's that. And then what's something I wish people understood more. Uh we're so blessed, man. Like our success isn't built. Don't get me wrong. Are there things that we're doing really well that I want to take credit for? Sure. The majority of the credit belongs to the teams who are coming from far away, who are flying in and playing twice a year. Like the Shotos and the Dylans are coming to our tournaments and they go home and they rave about it, and then more people come. Like that's a big like people from BC, people from PI. PI has 5 teams coming to kick off. They're making our tournament like a core part of their program. Like that to me is like, cool, that's nice for us. Like, do I want to be proud of that? Of course. But their commitment, they're recognizing, hey, this is where this is where we're gonna get the most high quality reps. This is where we need to be. This where like that is like something that I wish was that's the real success. Like it's not it sounds like such a stupid roundabout way of saying we're successful because everybody else comes, but everyone else comes because we're but really we've built our success off of the organizers and the board members that have preceded us, like the Dwayne, Bethel, Victor, Jen Ritchie, um, like the other dodgeball camp, like Steve Hickson, like all these people who were involved. I'm gonna forget people. I'm so sorry who I'm forgetting, but like the people who organized dodgeball before we did, they showed us so much. I didn't know how to make a schedule for our first tournament, and Jen Ritchie walked me through it and taught me so much of what I needed to know. Did I learn more on my own? Sure, but without her, it would have been like infinitely more difficult. We've built our success off of like people who aren't around to see the trees that they planted, like we're sitting in that shade, like that's virtue. So we want to cultivate the same thing. Like I hope that like I'm the like the like the Greek tragedy is that I'm never really gonna get to play one of my own tournaments because I'm like so
Uh,
hurt. I'm never gonna get to play a men's final in one of my tournaments because I just can't punch up like that again. Very very small likelihood I'll ever get to punch up like that again. Um, yeah, but
maybe,
that's what I wish. Yeah,
maybe one
maybe,
day.
maybe. Yeah, maybe one day. So, yeah.
Seeing the shade analogy was amazing, though. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that's like I think people who live like that, people who plant trees, who won't get to see the shade. Like I was thinking about that. It's like that's what I'd like dodgeball Toronto or like I'd like to be remembered for that at the like just a little bit. I'm gonna be remembered for a lot of shitty things. Don't get me wrong. But fun things, shitty things, whatever. But I think that's the culmination of virtue. I think is like leave something behind for somebody else that gets to benefit. And there are people who did that for us. Like we're only succeeding because of everybody else, man. That's like we're a small part of that.
Nice. Next question. The dodgeball community has amazing individuals from across the world trying to put dodgeball on the map with high-level tournaments, leagues, and entertainment for all of us. From Nico to Lucas to you guys, wanted to say thank you. Who, in your opinion, deserves a shout out for their good work in the community that doesn't normally come to mind for players?
Um, okay, so like the obvious ones are Jeff, Bethel, Shade. Those are the obvious ones. Those are like our leadership team. Like everyone should know their names. None of this stuff would happen without them. That's the obvious. The not so obvious ones are like so Nick Kaimani, Brendan Yoshida, and there's a couple more, but these three guys in particular, these guys are always there for setup, for teardown, and they work the event reffing. Um, these guys don't get the love that they need. I'm really, oh, man, I wish I had made a list because like I really hope I'm not forgetting someone. I'm certain I'm forgetting someone, but Kaimani and Nick, and Yoshida, they all, whenever I ask them, hey, I need you here at this time, they're like, yep, I got it. And they always presume that they're helping. And they always knock it out of the park. These these three guys do so much. Don't get me wrong, there's a ton of other helpers who are like Claire and Marcel have helped a ton unsung. Um, and like does merch for us. VC is incredible and a big part of our success now as well. Um, the spot rehab is like I'm like plugging our sponsors now. I feel like such a fucking sellout, but like truly, like the unsung individuals are like those three guys. Like they've killed themselves for us. We've had other people here and there jump in. We've had people help with teardown who like didn't even put their hand up. You know, I'm just like I just look up and someone's like tearing down nets. It's like that's real like dodgeball's just for the most part really nice. But Kaimani, Nick, and Yoshida, yeah, are like unsung heroes. Yeah.
Next question. You've elevated your game from your days on Inferno to your eventual multi-year success on Rampage. What can you say to aspiring dodgeball players who want to understand what it takes to play at the highest level of dodgeball and stay there for so long?
Uh, Make friends with players who really know the game. Understand that I don't know if this is true in all sports. Maybe it is. I'm not gonna pretend like I know anything outside of dodgeball. Uh, but in dodgeball, there's an analogy that we use coaching that is every player is um, vehicle and driver, or like vehicle and pilot. So there's the physical machine, and there's the brain, the person that pilots this machine, and you need to hone both. Like you can be the players who throw really well, who catch really well. They don't need to think so good. You know, they get away with a lot playing like dummies. They don't really need to they don't need to be the sharpest tool to. And then some people need to play really smart to punch up, you know. So one, I would say make friends with players who have done it. Don't make friends with players who, I mean, make friends with whoever you want, but people who have like actually walked the fucking walk. Don't be taking advice from players who are like quarterfinalists. Take their advice, but put it in the tool like put it in the tool chest and like go to the winners who have done it. Um, and then train obsessively. Like watch again, just like Nate said, if you want to be a good player, but you're not sitting and watching the finals, I'm looking at you and being like, you don't want to be a good player. Like you don't care enough. And it's like, again, time and money. With time and money, you can accomplish anything you want. So put the time in and the effort and the resource and go to the gym and watch game tape and ask for coaching and improve. Like make if you still have to think about doing the basic things, you're not like everything you learn should eventually become second nature. You know, you should learn to block instinctively. You should learn to what a catch feels like, and you should learn how to throw with proper form, and then not have to watch your ball anymore. I'm just going to throw this, and I'm going to play the rest. You know, like all these things have to become second nature, or you won't be successful if you don't make these small components second nature to your behavior, to your playing approach. So that's like, yeah.
Nice. Great advice. Next question. Mentality in dodgeball is everything. Making sure you have the right mindset despite any number of circumstances is important, and making sure you can perform your best against any opponent or team. As a player on both sides of this, what advice can you share to players who might get too caught up in a stressful moments and need to focus instead, like a team coming back or getting caught in a crucial point, etc.
Yeah. Um, the three-part answer, which I'll give really quickly. So one, I remember I remember a certain point in my career when I was playing where I was thinking about what are people going to think if I lose this point? What are people going to think if my team loses this match? You know, my team's supposed to win this match. Oh no, blah, blah, blah. You need to disconnect the fuck all that noise. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just play. And if that's really shitty advice because it's like, okay, well, how do I just play? Okay. You just play by doing one task at a time. Okay, it's a 1v4 and you have one ball and they've got five of them. Your job is just defense, just survive. I'm going to pump this guy. I'm going to dodge this one. I'm going to block that one and I'm going to survive. And it's just like your job should just be tasks in like in succession. Okay, it's my turn for offense. I'm going to try and make a hit. Where's my easiest hit? Or what do I want to? And stop. You hopefully have leadership that is taking care of the game as a whole. You know, when you're a player, if you're a captain or you're player coaching, it's like tough, but task one task at a time, one task at a time, and just that stuff doesn't matter, man. If you could, if you could go 5 years in the future and look back at yourself and be like, wow, I can't believe all that. How all that stupid shit didn't matter that I was worrying about. All that stuff didn't matter. So it's like, stop thinking. No one cares. No one cares. But what about that? Shut up. No one cares. So it's like just task at a time. So that's one. Um, fuck, I have ADHD. The other answer is out of my mind. What's the like? How do you block out the noise? Is that the question? The question was, how do you block out the
Uh,
noise?
what advice can you share to players who might get too caught up in a stressful moment and need to focus instead?
Yeah. Um, the noise doesn't matter. It's like the same answer again. It's so lame, but like do just go through the same situation. Ah, yes. Believe that you can win any point. Believe like when you're 1-on-4, it's winnable. It's very, very winnable. Is it hard? Yes. But if you don't practice winning that situation, if you don't practice defending yourself against four players and reasonably surviving once in a while, you're never going to win that situation. But practice doing it. And I'm telling you, it's very doable. The team that has less players gets to have more balls. Invariably, you get to have more balls when you're less players. So it's harder for them to kill you because you have more defense, you have more tools, you have more threat. A a player with two balls in their hand has more priority over everybody else on the court who only has one. And when you're down in numbers, you always get a second ball. Sometimes you get a third. I hate the third ball holding whatever, by the way. But it's winnable. And if you don't know how, find me or find someone else who will give you like, but it's very winnable. You can hit this one and maybe turn a catch. And you got to be patient. But it's doable. You need to practice. You need to believe that you can win the point. You need to train your vehicle and your pilot, you know.
Yeah, mental is such a big thing in dodgeball.
Huge, huge.
Next question is, you have recently been a part of the absolute dominance that the Canadian woman had at this most recent Worlds event.
Oh my God.
So just a fun exercise outside of Canada, what are a team of women, nine, you'd love to coach and believe under your guidance would give the top women in Canada a run for the money? Nine? That's a
I'm
ton of
Kaimani.
players.
Yeah, Kaimani is fucking crazy, man. This is so, like nine is really pressing it. Let me try. Like, who would beat? Who would be? I'll give as many. Uh, Alex, Alex Young out of Australia. Uh, I want to say like, man, I wish I knew the American girls better. Um, Brianna, I think Brianna's on that team. I think Carolyn Lee out of Australia. There's a there's a Malaysian girl who stopped playing in 2019. She was the anchor of their team. Their team fell off after she retired. I don't remember her name. I'm so embarrassed that I don't remember her name. I think it might have been Lynn, something like that. But she was so good. She gave our girls so much trouble. Um, who else is like uh, Ashley Cook? Ashley Cook is a weapon and a menace. Uh, yeah, I think that's like was that five? Is that five names? That's
I think you get
five.
five. Yeah,
Nine, man. Fuck, like
that's
that's
a
like
lot.
really tough. Yeah, I like. I don't want to throw. I don't want to willy nilly throw names out there. Like these five players that I've listed. Uh, Gigi, Gigi out of Australia as well is like highly effective. That's a team of six. That team, that team would compete. That team would compete with our Canadian women's, I think. Because there's like a lot of versatility, level-headed, and like very effective dodgeball players. I'd say those six would rival. It'd be hard. And it's like, man, Kaimani be like, oh, if you coach them, would be like that's such a leading, like I'm not gonna claim that. Like, am I confident in myself? Sure. But it's like some of these players might not want to be coached by me. You know, some of these players might like we might not work well together. But I think Carolyn, Alex, uh, Ashley Cook, Gigi,
Brianna,
um, Brianna, and then
the
that
Malaysian.
Malaysian girl,
Yeah,
the Malaysian girl that I wish I knew her name. I'm so embarrassed. But if I knew her name, yeah, she'd kill her. I think those six would be sick.
nice.
Yeah.
Next question. Please set.
Oh,
Oh,
Sam Greco. Sam Greco is
amazing
sick.
catcher.
I can't believe I didn't like. Yeah, but I think like people pigeonholed her into like, oh, she's a catcher, and it's like I think I think with a year's training, and maybe you know she's I think she's a well-rounded player. I
Yeah,
think she's a well-rounded player. And there's other good players. I'm just like you're asking me to like he's asking me specifically, oh, who are gonna like beat the top Canadian women. There are other up and coming players that I think are very good who are just like, man, they just need some reps and some more worlds and some more tournaments, and they'll be really good. Like, it's not to say that there aren't a lot more really good players, but these are players that I've seen myself that I'm confident are like highly proficient. Yeah,
nice.
just to be clear before anyone fucking kills me. Yeah,
Hit him with seven. Nine was tough. That's a big number.
yeah, yeah.
Next question. Please set the record straight for all the Canadian viewers once and for all. What happened in the round robin game against New Era versus Rampage starting from
Yeah,
Vienna?
I really like.
We went
Yeah,
through
we
that
already
one.
talked about. Yeah, we already did that. Kaimani. It's yeah. That's like we. Yeah, okay, we already did that.
You played with and against some of the best dodgeball players to ever touch a ball in your career. In your opinion, what are the overall hallmarks that go into being the best player at this sport?
Uh, you need to train obsessively. Like Jeff and Merg owned Canadian dodgeball for so many years. You could say you could make excuses as to why, but these guys both exercise religiously. Um, and then they warm up and they eat like kings, you know? Um, talent will take you so far, but these two guys worked really hard tirelessly. Lisa Mora has the same has like I would argue has like stronger work ethic than both of them, and she's violently consistent as well. When Lisa's engaged and she's trying, it's not like it's she's stupidly effective. Um, and it's like if you want to be a staple, you want to be a high performer, you need to lift heavy weights and train and practice and eat really well. And these people cared about dodgeball a lot. You know, when I was trying to be good, all I would do is think about dodgeball and be like, how would this affect my dodgeball? And this is like, you need to make it a center point of your life. You need to make sacrifices elsewhere in your life to make this a focus. If you want to be, if you want to be in these people's company, there are a lot of other legends who, um, didn't work as hard, but were still really good because they were overflowing with talent. Cam Ranigan is notoriously um like just this guy. If this guy would exercise even a little bit, he'd put everyone to shame. But this guy was 40 years old, still making everyone look really stupid.
Yeah, such an
Yeah,
outlier.
such a like obscene man, obscene,
Yeah,
not close. He's more skilled than anybody who's ever touched a dodgeball. He's more skilled. He's more skilled than Eli. He's more skilled than like this. I'm telling you, but didn't apply himself. You
Mhm.
can't like hard work. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Blah blah blah. Yeah,
The age-old saying.
yeah, yeah.
Are there any players you wish you had gotten to play more with in your dodgeball career?
Yeah, I wish I got to play more with Mike. Like I joined Rampage and Mike had quit. Like he had quit dodgeball. He came back for a year, and then the team fell apart. I wish I got to play more with Josh. I played a year with Josh on Z Warriors, and Josh is like one of my favorite teammates. Josh is like such a good dude, and just like such a wholesome. Josh is a hater in like in behind the scenes, he's talking shit, but out front, like he's Josh is a good time. I wish I had to play more with Maddie. Maddie's an incredibly fierce fucking competitor. You only want to bust through a wall for Maddie. Like I really liked playing
Yeah.
with Maddie.
His passion
Even though it was like
overflows.
some, yeah, it's such a good way of putting it. His passion definitely overflows. Um, who else do I like? Which Steven Chatterton was such a good teammate. Kenneth Ang was like such a good teammate. Um, I'll think if anything else like jumps to mind, but on the men's side, like that's yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Um, what do you believe is the next big step for spreading dodgeball to more people?
The next big step to what bringing dodgeball to more people?
Uh, Big step for spreading dodgeball to more people.
Oh, it sounds stupid, but like they're making a dodgeball sequel movie. Like I think that'll be like a huge injection of people. That's like a very cop out answer, but I think that'll be the the next it's a combination. It's a two-part answer. Part of it is you need to get this stuff in schools. You need to get the stuff in schools. Like schools need to be playing dodgeball the way that the WDBF sees it, the way the Dodgeball Canada sees it. So that's one, and then two, it needs to be far more spectator friendly. Like right now, honestly, it was like it really fucking pains me to say it. But like the foam rule set needs a little bit of help. It needs a little bit of love. Like nobody wants to watch a 1v1 going back and forth for 4 fucking minutes. It's miserable.
Yeah.
It's like it's not fun. Um, so like that there needs to be a solve there. And like there's plenty of theories and like proposed like, oh, if you make a set timeout to sudden death every point, or even like a crazy, crazy suggestion. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. Because I don't know that I love it, is like remove blocking altogether. Just like don't just remove blocking and now everything's dodging. And
Yeah.
maybe it's chaos. Maybe it's chaos, but all of a sudden it's far more fun to watch. I'm
Hmm.
not I'm not suggesting we go there. I'm saying it's like we gotta think about it. But for there to be an influx, the game needs to be far more watchable. I think that would really help. There needs to be more kids playing. And then yeah, you see it far too much. It happens constantly. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it. Yes, I am. It happens far too much where like brand new people are playing and they're like, oh, that hit him, that got him. It's like if you take out the blocking, it's like you eliminate all the cheating, you eliminate all the finger blocking. If you
Yeah.
hear contact, it's contact. So it's like it's crazy because I believe so much in like the skill expression of it all. I believe so much in like blocking is an art and a skill. So am I saying we should remove blocking altogether? No, but maybe the youth games, like you're maybe like in the rec leagues, you remove blocking. Maybe it's like blocking is only a competitive thing. I don't know. I don't have a right answer. I'm probably rambling for like nonsense. Like cut all this. Can we edit all this part out? But it's yeah, viewership, like viewability from a spectator standpoint. It's gotta be fun to watch, and we're trying to do that with Dodgeball Toronto. We're trying to do that with like Dodgeball Canada as well. It's gotta be fun to watch, and more kids have to play.
I agree. There's a lot going on for someone that's never
Yeah,
watched dodgeball to understand what's going
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Correct.
Uh, Rampage was coming off one of, if not the most dominant dodgeball finals performance Canada has ever seen, beating Hardest Foam 10-5. That's a huge score. What
Uh,
happened to this incredible team that has seen nothing but success at the national stage?
oh man, this is drama now too. So first of all, it was like 8-1 or 9-1, and then we eased off. Like we had won. So like 10-5 does not do it justice. That was a that was a fucking proper shellacking, and we like yeah. I think Hardest Foam spent their entire tank getting to the finals, and they were so happy to be in the finals that they want to win, sure, but you don't compete your first time around. What happened to Rampage? What happened to Rampage was a combination of um like our captain moved away. Our captain moved away, and it was like very difficult to like maintain uh like harmony, like being a leader but being far away, not running practice, all this stuff. Like there was a lot of difficulty, man. Oh man,
And the
this is a
captain
lot of
was
drama that
the captain was Mergler,
Mergler.
right?
Yeah, Jason Mergler, yeah. I don't know that I want to like spill all the beans here, man. This is like at the end of the day, at the end of the day, um Merg, like what happened was Merg wanted to be coached by Vic. So Merg wanted to be coached by Vic, and he was like, "Guys, I'm going to the Mavs, whether you like it or not." You know. And then Mike went with him. Mike's like, "Hey, I'm going." And then Jeff and Cam were kind of like, "Well, what the fuck are we supposed to like?" And they looked at both sides of the table, and I was like, I found out a week before Edmonton that I needed another surgery. I was like, cool. So I need another surgery. I'm going to be out for at least another 18 months, 2 years. So I'm like, I'm not looking at Jeff and Cam being like, no, guys, stay. Like, let's keep going, whatever. Um, so that like they had no choice. If they wanted to continue being competitive, they're like, all right, well, I'm going with. So they joined the Mavs. Those four joined the Mavs, and the team was pretty much just cooked. I needed like I was done. I was done because I needed more surgery. And yeah, the team was, as soon as Merg left, the team was cooked. But he
Yeah.
wanted to be coached by Vic, and yeah, that's yeah,
Uh, that's kind of sounds kind of sad. Not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah. Heartbreak. It's too bad.
Do you think you guys will still be a team now if like everyone's still stuck, or it would have slowly
Oh
like disappeared?
yeah, I think like it's really hard to say. Like assuming everyone's health,
Hmm.
Um, yeah, if I had properly recovered from surgery, then yeah, I think we could still be a team. Would we? Probably not. Like I think Merg and I had irreconcilable differences, in like philosophies, and I
Uh,
think like that rift pretty much killed the team. It's
nice.
like it was yeah, and like the guys were stuck in the middle, between like the
Hmm.
core leadership of the team. The guys were kind of stuck in the middle. And I'm like, I'm not fighting for this, man. There's nothing, like I can't play. Like what are we even talking about?
Yeah,
Do you guys want to do?
unfortunate. Next question. Dodgeball is
Sadness.
starting to see, huh?
I said sadness.
Yeah, sadness.
Sorry, keep going. Dodgeball started too.
Dodgeball is starting to see people with their signature celebrations from Dylan's "Don't Throw at Me," Shoda's "Finger Wag," Will kissing the ball at Worlds Mixed, Lisa pumping up the crowd of Worlds, and of course Ken's "Bye" wave. What are some of your favorite dodgeball celebrations, past and or present, and do you think they have a place in dodgeball?
Uh, I definitely think they have a place in dodgeball. I think that with all the love in my heart, I think we're a little too soft. Like, guys, just a little friendly banter, trash talk, whatever. If it turns hostile, of course, no. But I think teams should be able to beat their chest a little bit. Again, against the right opponent, read the room. Nobody, nobody should be celebrating when it's 12-0. But yeah, there should be like, man, it's boring to watch if everyone's just like nice and respectful, and it's like there needs to be a little bit of antagonistic. Like we all thrive. Nobody wants to admit it, but we all thrive on the drama. We all thrive on the conflict. We all thrive when there's a story. Like there's got to be an antagonist and a protagonist. And those different teams can serve both roles depending on like which side of the fence you're sitting on. As long as that stuff isn't hostile, as long as that stuff doesn't carry over to the after party, we can all be friends later. We can all just like, I don't even have to like you, but I can hang out, have a beer, and like we can just talk. We can talk shit, whatever. You know. Um, I never I contrary to popular belief, I never hated any of the new era guys, like ever. Austin Woods pissed me off, and I was like, you're fucking annoying, dude. But all the other guys, like I had a ton of respect for like they stepped up to the table, you know. They fought, they played, and they didn't whine about it afterwards. They just carried on and kept playing, you know. And they kept going and they won clubs, they won nationals in Vancouver. Like kudos to them. They fucking kept going, you know. They broke the either they broke it or the Mavericks did, depending on how you want to look at it. But like they broke the rampage win streak, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so like yeah, like the trash talking, just toughen up a little bit, you know. It's like as long as, but yeah, definitely as a, I don't know that I have a favorite celebration. I like seeing like amped up yelling. It's fun to watch Shota. Oh man, Shota. Oh, Shota fucking yes, I know my favorite celebration. Shota catching some dude point blank at API and then pointing
Oh
and
yeah.
laughing in his face. That is unhinged behavior that I'm so here for. It's so fun because he's like uncontrollably like pointing and laughing at the dude. That's funny. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's my favorite easily. Second to that would be Mike and Ken's like buy wave. Um, and then Dylan's got sweat. Dylan's got a lot of villain energy, you know. It's like sometimes fuck, Dylan's like really hard to cheer for you, but I want to cheer for you. But I appreciate everything Dylan is, positive and negative. You know, you can't you can't take the good and leave the bad. Like I take all of this together, and I think Dylan's great for sport. I think Dylan's an incredible competitor, and yeah, yeah, I think that yeah. Full stop. End of thought.
I agreed with all that. Um, Dodgeball has many controversial individuals who have trash talking as a part of their game. I'm sure you would describe yourself as one of those players as well. Do you believe trash talking has its place in dodgeball? And if it does, when is it too much and when is it just fine? Would you like
I've
to
kind of
see,
like yeah.
yeah, would you
Sorry,
like
keep
to see
going.
more,
No, keep going. Yeah.
would you like to see more trash talkers or less in the community?
No, I think the trash talking is good. As soon as it hits like a hostile point, you know, as soon as it's like trash talking should never be like personal, you know? It
Yeah.
should be like talk about the game. Talk about the game. You're beneath me. You get off my court, you know, like get fucked idiot, you know, like those are
Yeah.
like on the court, like totally fine. Shake hands afterwards, buy your competitor a drink and like you know, like just um we're all we're all we're all different versions of the same people doing the exact same thing. It's just like my team versus your team. It's just
Yeah.
like you know, we never think we're the bad guy. And then you're 36-year-old men bullying 20-year-olds at like a dodgeball tournament, you know? It's like, but trash talking absolutely has its place. And yeah, it's too much. It's too much when it turns hostile. And I just hope that most people, it's funny, some of the most notorious shit talkers actually have like some pretty thin skin and be like, dude, if you're gonna dish it out, you better be able to take it. And like maybe myself included a little bit, I'd be very quickly to like I'm pretty hot tempered. Um, but later in my years I got a little more centered, but it's yeah, it's all good, man. Just have fun. Just play, guys. Just play.
We all love a good storyline.
Yeah.
Leading question, who's someone people wouldn't normally expect to actually be an avid trash talker in the community that actually is?
Josh, Kenneth Ang. I don't know if people think Shade talks shit or not, but she does. Shade talks so much shit. Shade is so toxic. Who else talks shit? I think people expect Kenley. Kenley talks shit, but everyone would expect that from her. Uh, the O'Quinns are shit talkers. Who else? Who else? Who's like a really? Where's the juxtaposition? I think Ken is probably like and Josh. Everyone thinks Josh is so nice. Eric Ceruto. Eric Ceruto is a shit talker. Everyone thinks Eric's so nice. He's got you all fooled.
So
He's
basically
got
everyone
you
who has a
all
big
fucking
smile.
fooled. Yeah, correct, man. I'm telling you, all these people were like so nice. They're shit talkers behind the scene, and it's okay. Like not in a mean way. Like I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Am I being a rat? Maybe I'm being a rat.
Just friendly banter.
Uh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um, Being someone who is coachable at all times is simultaneously one of the most important trait, but also incredibly difficult to have. Since taking up a more coaching role after your injury, who are some players you've had the pleasure of parting your Cizravi wisdom to, besides me, of course?
Oh my God. So like what who are my favorite players to coach?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Um, all the future guys were very like welcoming and opening. Like they asked me to coach them the first year. They had Shadane and I back for a second year. Like they all privately came up to me and they were like, for the most part, I'm not gonna say like every single one, but they came up and like, hey, you like I know the team didn't get the results that we wanted, but you accelerated us. You accelerated like it was like a hyperbaric time chamber. Like you skipped us ahead so many years, you know. Future was another team that they were just hitting the scene when COVID hit. They lost 2 years. You know, they lost two prime years, which is really shitty. Dan Lack, Mike Koo. Um, I I loved coaching the women's team. Like all the girls, um, like Lori was like really fun to coach. Like it felt like she really cared. She really listened. Um, I wish I got like more like my group. Like we had all the girls like separated into different groups. Betty was great. Lori was great. Like all everyone in my group was excellent. Like Kevin, Alyssa. Um, I'm forgetting one. Oh my God, there's a fifth.
Oh
I'm such a
no.
terrible coach. Oh my God, I'm so bad. I'm gonna think about it. Oh my Lord. I wish I got more time with Cynthia. Cynthia Lee is like such a fucking killer, man. She's such a weapon. Um, who else have I like coached that's been like, yeah, Nick. It feels like such a disservice not to just name like everybody on Future, but
Mhm.
like everybody on Future was like, yeah, that was really nice. I love Alex Chang, man. I think Alex Chang's gonna pop off this weekend. I have to like stay impartial because I'm roughing the tournament. Um, but yeah, that's like really my coaching has really been the women's team this past year, Future, and then Rampage. Like everybody on Rampage was a good teammate, listened to feedback and took direction well. Uh, so like Mike, Alan, Ken, Justin, Vince, even like Brendan Naughty, and like even Jeff. Like you'd think that these guys wouldn't take feedback, but even the core of our team, even like Jeff would listen to small tip. I wouldn't talk to Jeff too much. I'd be like, here's where your room is. Here's what you need to like work on. And just like a little bit. I'm not trying to change you as a player, Jeff. You are fucking Jeff Snow. You know, like far be it for me to fucking tell you how to win, but here's where like and those are like anytime anybody gives you the trust, anytime anyone gives you the trust to say, "Hey, teach me," and then they listen, and then they take that and they go to succeed, like that's a really fulfilling feeling as a coach, as a mentor, as a friend. It doesn't even have to be like the, but yeah,
Like, uh, Dodgeball Nationals is coming up soon, and with teams
yeah.
coming in from all over the country, what are you most excited to see this upcoming weekend, and what can people expect from this new Canadian tournament moving forward?
I think it'll be really sweet because it's the first time we've had all the provinces play against each other. So I think we'll see like there's gonna be a lot of combination of players who have never played together before. You know, I look at BC men's or women's teams, and like a lot of these combinations of players, like these players have never shared the court together. Same with Ontario, same with Manitoba, same with Quebec, same with Alberta, same with all these provinces. There's so much talent from all these provinces that have always been split and fragmented on different club teams. This is a true nationals, and it's where like I don't care much for the tribalism of it all, like my team versus your team, but in these settings, it's like that's fun, that's cool, like I don't. Um, so I think the coolest thing to look forward to is like this new combination of players that you otherwise wouldn't see at a high level event where like the competition's really high. I think that'll be really fun and cool. And that's like probably the biggest takeaway. It sucks that we don't have all the other provinces. I think we'll have them in the next iteration, and there's a little bit more lead time when they see like the first one, the first of anything always sucks. The
Yeah.
first of anything always needs to improve. Um, but I think the greatest thing to look forward to will be like these teams all coming together and trying to try to crown like a national champion. Like, like there are memes. If you go look at dodgeball memes, there's fucking Ontario memes
Yeah.
out there. I hope someone upsets, man. I hope it's a good game. I shouldn't say I hope someone upsets. I hope we have quality games, and I hope that there's big energy, and I hope the games are entertaining to watch, and that's what I hope for.
It's gonna be dope for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's
Kim, I need to grab my charger. My laptop's dying. Give me one
go
second.
for it.
You can cut this part. You give me 2 seconds. Ah.
Um, while Mark's doing that, thank you, Kamani, for all those questions. Those are great questions. There was a ton. I think we took like a 40-minute chunk of just doing your questions, but they're all great questions.
Classic money. Oh my god.
Mm, mm, mm. But you can still hear me though, right?
I can still hear you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
I'm
Okay.
I'm here. I'm good too. We can cut that part out if you want.
No, you're good.
Jeez.
I put everything raw. I don't do any edits.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Uh,
Classic. Mark's a computer guy, doesn't even plug in his laptop. Fucking of course. In my head, I was like, oh, there's no way. It'll last all day for sure. Um, yeah, that's what it is.
next question is from Brittany Morales. You kind of touched upon this like throughout the episode, but what do you hope to see for the future of dodgeball?
Uh yeah. Good question, Brittany. I have like partially answered already. I hope I hope the game is like sustainable. I hope the game is like watchable, sustainable. I hope that we get this stuff into schools. The Olympic people talk about the Olympics like it's a fucking like, man, this stuff is like 50 years away. Who cares? Who cares about the Olympics? The Olympics is one tournament every 4 years. And is it like, would it be great? Would it be nice? Cool. I think dodgeball being on TV. I think dodgeball being fun to watch. I think dodgeball being played by a lot more people. Like that's what I'd really like to see. Pickleball has kind of exploded. I don't know what the history of pickleball is, but pickleball, it feels like I see pickleball courts in gyms. I would love to see a dodgeball court in a gym, but yeah, I think dissemination of sport and like standardizing rules and types, like that. You guys were talking about how there's still 8.5 like full court gyms, like
Yeah,
the fact that stuff still exists is fucking crazy. Um, but yeah, I hope the future of dodgeball is it's still played. I hope it's still fun. I hope it's sustainable. I hope it's great to watch. I want it to be fun to watch. Yeah. I hope everyone sticks around after they're done playing and like finds a role.
that's the dream.
Yeah.
Next question from Aaron Greenlee. Uh, my question for Mark. It takes a special type of person to give so much time and support to a sport you're not actively playing. What brings you joy and refills your cup when contributing to the dodgeball community off the court?
Okay. So of course, Aaron Greenlee would ask this question because uh, the second day of Clash, the second day of Clash, there was like a thank you card on our like admin desk. And I opened this up and it's like, hey, Dodgeball Toronto fam, congrats on getting through day one. Thank you for holding such a wicked event and blah, blah, blah. And like she goes on to like thank us and say a bunch of nice things. She draws a little doodle in there. And it's funny because I'd only heard Aaron Greenlee's name before. On
Mm,
like it was either like she was mentioned on your podcast. I maybe saw a clip. People are hyping her up. She's like an up and coming player. Uh, and then so I didn't. All I knew was this name. I'd seen like some random footage of like a Linwood smash or something. Like Linwood, like it was. And she's like a great player. But of course, she like you see his thank you card, and I'm like I go to look up what team she's playing on. She's playing with outsiders, and I go up to like the team, and I say, hey. This, and I go to this girl who I didn't recognize, and I was like, "Hey, do you know who Aaron Greenlee is?" And she's like, "Hi, that's me." And I was like, "This is the kind of stuff like so this, and then another like people's appreciation goes a long fucking way. And don't get me wrong, we get so much love. I'm not saying we need more love. We are overflowing with it. But the thing that fills my cup the most is like people recognizing, hey, there's like we're having a lot of meaningful fun. Like I had a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for hosting this like that. Like, it there are a lot of different angles you can have as like a metric for success. You can say like, oh, I want to host the best tournaments, or I want to have the best matches, or the biggest tournaments, or like this or that, or I want to make the most money, like all these things. At the end of the day, I think the most meaningful thing is like creating memories, you know? Josh, Josh Eustace had this like comeback story. So this dude didn't get activated for the team in 2024. You know, he's like cut controversially. And then his team makes the finals at Clash after Team Canada gets eliminated in the semis.
Yeah.
And then they're down 4-0. They're down 4-0 against Shred, and they come back and win 5-4. Like these storylines. And then Josh has like fucking out of his mind, and then wins the thing before that. He won the thing before that. He won that tournament, and then went to API, heartbreak finals appearance. Nice throw, Shota. Why'd you throw that? Uh, and like all this, like, but all these like this storyline is like the best part of like, you know, you just want to be a small part of like, hey, we put this on and we had this story. And like Josh is like, this dude's in tears after like, you know, because like everyone wants it for him. Everyone wants him to succeed. Um, so like the thing that fills my cup is people appreciating it, seeing it, you know, being kind when things don't go well, and they all are. Like my cup is incredibly full because everybody is really nice when shit goes wrong, and people are overly appreciative even if we don't get it like perfectly. Um, Joe, Joe and Kathleen are class acts beyond any. So the tournament is wrapping up. So tournament's wrapping up on day three. Tournament's wrapping up on day three. And Joe comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, we looked your Facebook a little bit, and it turns out like you love cats. And um, we we made a we got you something. We made like a donation to a local animal rescue and like in your name, and gave me again thank you card with like multiple like men's, women's, mixed like outsiders like signed this card. And he's as he's saying this to me, I like start fucking welling up and crying, being like, fuck man, that's like this is so nice. My cat is old and sick, you know, it's like it like all I think about is like how much time I have left with him. I feel like a ton of guilt and remorse for my other like the things that fill my cup are like people caring about each other, you know. And it's like I wish I took more time to care about others. I wish I hope that I do. I hope that I give my friends enough of that love. But it's like the thing that fills my cup is people being happy or having a good time or being appreciated. But like Joe and Kathleen making a donation to a cat rescue, that's like I can only hope that like cats are being like some stray animals are being fed because like we inspired them to do that. You know, it's like life is so like angry and pessimistic and like sad for so many reasons. It's like this is such like a nice thing. That's like that fills my cup plenty. Everyone fills my cup. Don't like I don't need any more. Guys, this isn't like a cry for help. It's like that was really sad. I'm not like I'm great. I promise I'm great. It's just a touching. I cried everything. So it's just a touching moment. That's all.
That's
Thanks,
cool.
Joe. Thanks, Kathleen. You guys are too sweet.
All right. Move on to Facebook questions.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
first
Okay.
question. First question is from Nicholas
Yeah.
Danchenko. Do you
Of
like my new
course.
lock screen?
Nick is this is a stupid question. Pass, Nick. You're dumb. Grow up. Get a job.
Jeremy Bizzle, how is your rehab coming along?
It's tough. First of all, Jeremy Bizzle is like, Jeremy Bizzle. I don't know if he's a show talker. I don't think he is. I think he's the sweetest, nicest. Like this is one of find me someone who doesn't like Bizzle. I haven't seen Bizzle in so many years, but I miss him dearly. I message him every once in a while just to say I love you. Like Jeremy's like Bizzle's incredible. Everyone loves Bizzle. My rehab's going miserably. The longer you're hurt, the longer it is to get back. I'm stronger now than I've ever been, but I played dodgeball 2 weeks ago and it hurts to walk still, you know? So it's
Ouch.
like, I can't, I probably shouldn't be playing. I have another surgery likely coming up, which like sucks. But I'm stronger than I've been in 5 years, which is nice. Like regular life for the most part, apart from not being able to run, I'm okay, but still can't play. Really wish I could play. If you see me playing, I promise you I'm going to be hurting for a month afterwards. Maybe I'll play some mixed at my tournament, you know, just to mess around. But rehab's going as well as it can. It's been a rough road, but I'm thank there are worse things, and I've had great support medically. And it's just it is what it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Second question is, how can one be as cool as you?
Jeremy is such a dick. It's like it's so nice. It's like this. I'm not gonna like. I'm not cool. I'm not cool. I'm cool to like a small subsection, and even like these. All my friends like love to rip on me because I take it. I don't know. It's like, but I'm cool from the outside. I'm a gamer nerd. Like on the inside, it's just that's whatever. Jeremy. You're cool, and everyone loves you. Like leave me alone.
Agreed. A1 human.
Yeah.
Then
Like
he goes, miss you and love you. Hope all as well.
yeah. Same man. Same. Bizzle. I hope I see you soon.
Uh, Next question is from Jackie Spinella. Hi, Mark. I love you. Heart emoji. Out of all the tournaments you've run, what has been one of your favorite or most meaningful moments, if you can choose one? P.S. You're the
Okay.
best.
Okay, thanks, Jackie. You're too sweet. Yeah, the 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 Joe and Kathleen, like the outsiders, like thank you card. That with like Aaron's a close second. Sorry, Aaron, they made a donation. Like, and Aaron is part of that, I'm sure as well too. So like she gets double credit. But yeah, it's like that was the nicest thing by far. That was really nice. That was really kind.
Next question, JD Feliciano. How come tournaments start at 7 a.m. and go all the way to 10 p.m.?
Uh, so hopefully, so no tournaments actually do that. Um, but like at 7 a.m., men's might start, but they won't finish the day. And then women's will start at 2 o'clock and then finish like so it's more just can everybody it's just how else are you gonna fit all those games? Mixed rec at our tournaments, I presume they're talking about dodgeball Toronto tournaments.
Mhm.
It's like yeah, mixed rec will start at 7 a.m., but it'll be done by 1 or 2 o'clock. And then mixed open starts at 1 or 2 o'clock and then goes till 9. So or 9 or 10. So it's like, yeah, if you look at 7 to 10, it's like a don't do math on air. It's a 15-hour day, but it's really 7 hours for one and 7 hours for the other, ish, like depending on the overlap. And you do that because there are so many teams who
Yeah.
all have to play a certain amount, and we extend playoff times now as well. And yeah, it's like I think we have the longest round robin games outside of the thing. Outside of the thing, it's like I think our round robin games are longest, and we do like a 30 something minute playoff at
Yeah.
least. But it goes long because yeah.
Next question, Dylan Cruz. If you had to pick five players in Canada to back you up in a street fight, who would you pick?
uh, Jeff, Maddie. So Jeff, because loyal to the soil. I don't know if Jeff can fight, but I know that if I was in a fight, I want to believe that Jeff would step in. Maddie, because Maddie's Maddie's loyal to the soil, but he's also like this guy's he's a lot tougher than he looks. Maddie's got like little dog syndrome, and he'll go hard. Uh, I feel like man, I saw like Cody Vinish is a big dude. Cody Vinish is a very big man. I feel like Vinish, Willier. I want to say Chris and Byron, because like you want your boys to back you up.
Yeah,
But I feel like guys, I think Vinish and Willier, they're like these are big men who will yeah, if I had to like is that four? Is that five? No, it's
that's
four.
four. Yeah.
Five, a fifth guy. Who's a fifth? Who's a fighter? Bro, Nick Grenier's got it in him, bro. He crossed the line like that. This guy's tough as yeah, that's silly, a silly question, but sure.
Yeah. Jeff Snow, does your right knee still make clicking sounds when you
Jeff
bend
is
and
Jeff,
extend? If so, can I feel it?
Jeff is so dumb. Like my knee used to crack when I would like move it, and I would like have people like, yeah, like feel how fucked up my knee is. Then I had surgery, and the clicking went away. So Jeff has heard me tell all my knee stories like 100 times, so he's over it. But dumb question. Shut up, Jeff. You're annoying.
Uh, Couple questions from Dustin Harwood.
Yep.
First one, as the director of player and sport development for Dodgeball Canada, what are you actively doing to improve the cloth dodgeball scene in Canada?
Yeah, that's a hard question to answer. Um, Me actively. So when our board came in as like seven new people, like complete board turnover. And our president at the time, Cam Booth, was like the cloth guy. Admittedly, I don't have a lot of cloth experience. Am I doing a lot for cloth dodgeball specifically? Probably it's it's outside of my realm of expertise. But the small things that I'm doing, like I support the cloth national tournament as best I can. Like anything that's needed of me, I would support that. And then outside of that, right now the WDBF rule books are about to get blown up, so they're about to get split between cloth and foam. That's the plan anyway. It's like it's not a done deal, but it's like supposed to happen. Um, so I'm like, whether Canada's getting a seat on the foam side, but whether they're getting a seat on the cloth side, I don't know. Um, and like I'm actively hunting to make sure that we have the right person to sit on that seat if we get a spot. And that's like it's pretty low hanging fruit, but it's something, I guess. Like the fact is, if if cloth needs more attention, and I need someone to put their hand up and help. I need cloth people who are like who want to be engaged and who want to support to send me a message and say, hey, I'll help you do the coaching stuff on the cloth side, or I'll help you do the officiating stuff because officiating officiating training and coaching training is like stuff that needs to happen that I at least need to get the ball rolling now that like a lot of other stuff is taken care of among other responsibilities. But I need help on the cloth side. So if anyone's listening to this and they want to help out, like please message me.
Nice. Second question: why schedule kickoff 2026 on the same weekend as Sin City?
Yep, I already mentioned that. We fucked it. We did not. We absolutely messed it up. We have done kickoff before on like the first weekend of the year, and like the travel was still really high, so we tried to avoid the first weekend. And then I didn't when we it didn't even click in our minds. I don't know why I thought Sin City was later, but Sin City's always on. I now know Sin City's always on Memorial Day weekend. I will not make that mistake again. It was like the availability of the venue and like the January date. At the very least, I think we had a choice of one other January date. We could have done it. Um, yeah, my bad. I messaged Jake immediately as soon as I found out. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm so sorry. And he's like, yep, Memorial Day every year. I was like, okay, I'll avoid that. But my bad. I
Nice.
promise. Not on purpose.
Third question: when do you think kickoff will offer a cloth division like API?
Fuck, it's the same. It's kind of the same answer. Like I don't know that like API has like this is maybe a cop out, but API is like it's so much more of a vibrant and engaged community. I think more people are like willing. I wonder if we offered cloth. Like let's pretend like we offered cloth. I don't know that we can offer cloth for all four of the divisions that we offered for foam without turning our tournament into like a a 4, maybe even 5 day event, you know? Maybe we could get away with 3.5. I don't know. But we have a really successful product in a 2 day event for uh for our foam tournaments. It's like what we one of two things could happen. We could add cloth to it and then expand on a third day or a fourth day. Like maybe it goes Friday to Monday, like example, maybe. But then I don't know that we're going to disrupt our existing player base to be like, okay, guys, well, now you have to play on Friday or now you have to play on Monday. Like people won't like that. So the alternative is like, okay, we'll host the tournament on a different time, like have a cloth tournament elsewhere. We're like, it's not out of the question. It's not out of the question at all. Uh, but again, it lies outside my realm of expertise. Like I need someone who's a diehard cloth person who wants to say, hey, host host a tournament in Toronto, host a cloth tournament in Toronto. I'll help you. I'll give you everything you need as far as like rules. I'll help you train the refs. And like the reason Dodgeball Toronto a big part of the reason why Dodgeball Toronto events are successful is because we are diehard foam players who understand the product in and out. There's a problem, we can solve it. And we ref really well as the refing only gets better as the tournament gets deeper because we have that experience. I'm worried that we'd host a cloth tournament and it would suck because maybe we don't have as many people. We'd have to find it. We'd have to find like a lesser venue. And then two, it's like we wouldn't do as good a job executing because we don't know the game as well. So again, if someone's like, if someone's really like wants to help, if they're Hamilton's very nearby and they're like, hey, we'll help you run a cloth tournament. I'm open to trying it. I just think I don't think that, and maybe I'd be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I don't know that we have like enough community to do that, but maybe the need is there. Maybe the need is there, and maybe we need to try it.
It would be dope, but that's a lot of stress on you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm doing my best already, guys. Please.
Four, what do you think are the three most difficult things to sort out or deal with for any tournament?
Scheduling is the most difficult thing. So for every schedule finishes, and before teams are even plugged in, you got to see like how many games are they playing, in what order, when do they have a break, when are they refing, like all these things. And then it's got to be spread out enough, but also not too condensed. Because if it's spread out too far, it's like people get cold. And if it's too close together, people don't have time to rest or eat. So like scheduling can make or break. There's some Our women's division does not want to play on 2 days. We've asked them countless times, hey, if your semis and finals on day two, but you got a huge crowd and all this and blah, blah, they're like, no. Every single time we ask the women's division participants, do you want to plan more than 1 day? They're like, nope, 1 day, that's it. And um, so like keeping people happy with what they want. Like so one, scheduling, two, staying on time. Man, a couple of our first tournaments, we did not stay on time. We played a finals at like 1 a.m. It was kind of crazy. Respect the clock, respect the time slots. Running clock in between first and second half was like the biggest aversion to running late. What was the question? Three things that lead to a
Uh,
successful tournament?
Three most difficult things to sort out or
Most
deal with
difficult things to
for.
sort out. And then staffing. Like it's really hard to find good help. We've been very blessed. I think we've been really blessed. But as like last minute, people get sick, people get hurt last minute. We got to fill. It's like it's exhausting. It's really Shade does so much work. Don't get me wrong. Jeff is a fucking workhorse, and I give a lot to this, but Shade hard carries both of us, you know. Shade does so much for us in finding like there is not another Shade out there. There isn't, you know. And if we didn't have her, uh we'd be a fraction of as successful, you know. But she thinks of so many things that we need to do. She corrects so many don't do that, don't do that, do this instead. It's like, okay, wow, we're really glad that, you know. um but finding good help is the hardest thing, and all of you out there who want to run a tournament, hire Shade or you will not succeed. You know, it's zero, it's not negotiable.
Last question from Dustin.
Yeah.
Will we see the mixed format added to to Canadian nationals and Canadian club championships at some point in the future?
Yeah, I think mixed will definitely get added. I think when the competitive landscape can support it. I think more so at nationals than at clubs. Like clubs is turning into a two-tier tournament with 60 teams over 4 days. It's a lot of matches to play. I haven't seen exactly how USA Nationals does it. I don't know how many teams they have per division, but I hear about it and I was like, man, that's cuckoo pants. You guys play men's, women's, and mixed for foam and cloth. And then is there no sting in there as well?
Yeah, that was no thing too.
That's
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's like, man, holy shit. Like that's incredible. I can't believe you managed that. But it's like it's a lot of different ball types and mixed. Like again, if we're talking about just adding mixed, we're talking about just adding mixed. Adding mixed to nationals is likely a thing when the competitive landscape can like probably I'd reasonably estimate, not next cycle, maybe the one after that, if not the one after that. Like I'd say within 5 years, like mixed can probably hang from like a competitive product. The point of nationals is like having all the best talent on and off the court, and it takes a lot of players and a lot of refs. And like I said very, very early on, oh my God, it's 3 hours. Jesus. Like I said very, very early on, the very high level competitors, like there's a steep jump between here and here. It's like it doesn't progress nicely. It's like I reasonably think there's like a stiff drop between elite and let's call it competitive. And I think we want everything we want at nationals. We want it to be as elite as possible.
Garrett Lee. Hi, Mark. Sending all the love from Boston. What are three successful
Shout out Boston.
tactics? Shout out Boston. What are the three
Yeah.
successful tactics you've learned slash implemented to keep large events like kickoff slash flash on schedule and not leaving the gym late?
Yep. So emphasize to the refs, start your games. If they're not there, if your team refs are there, but you have to start within 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So we have like 9 minute buffers in the time slot. We tell people you have to start by 5 minutes. There's no like non-negotiable. So that's one is like emphasize if your refs don't have this sense of urgency, like, hey, you need to start. We can't like, oh, but my team's not here. What am I supposed to do? Yep. If your team's not here, then they're either losing points. But if they're not there, scream at someone, message to the refs, like get someone to message the coordinators, but like your game has to start. Your game, we cannot go late. So we tell them it's like there's no option, no room for going late. That's one. Two, running clock at halftime or very big buffer slot. If we were doing 40-minute matches, it needs an hour time slot, like that. That's one and two. And then three, probably the like it's again, I'm reusing the same answer. Is like if you have teams resting enough, if you have teams going from playing to refing to playing, like they're going to fall behind, they're going to be tired, whatnot. I don't think I have a third good answer. It's those two. The things that we've found that worked most is hammer into the refs. Hey, you got to start. We make the announcements, and then make sure that if you're doing 26, 27 matches in like 35-minute time slots, you can't stop at half. You can't stop at half because that's sudden death. That first half sudden death slows you down and everyone gets like you get behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, like yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Xander Simos. Why does everyone hate planting league with you?
I think he means playing league.
Yeah.
I presume he means League of Legends. We're not going to talk
Yeah,
about that. This is long enough. This is long enough. We're not talking about League of Legends today. Message me if you want to play, but yeah, I'm toxic.
yeah. Luke Finder, what are your top five jersey designs you've seen or worn?
This is such like I hate answering this question because it's like I'm such a fan. Like the Havoc jersey from back in the day,
Mm.
the black Rampage jersey. I thought my Inferno jersey was really sick. Shout out Eric Cerudo. Z Warriors, the white jersey from Z Warriors, and then that's four teams that I've played on. This is like a terrible answer. These are all my jerseys, and there have been so many other like I'm not gonna give like a meme-y answer, like the memes, like the joke teams that like they make fun jerseys. Those are incredible jerseys. They're like so creative and fun and colorful and whatever. But like to me, best jersey design is like, you're scared to play that team because they look intimidating. Like that's a winning team. Uh Such a cop out, such a kiss ass answer. It's the Doom jerseys, bro. The Doom jerseys, like the
All
Doom
black.
jerseys back then. It's like, yeah, the all
Yeah.
black with the black, like the black. I think it was a black skull. I was like, that shit's just like these guys just think they're better than you are, and they are. Like, kind of, you know what I mean? That was like
Yeah,
that
they're
was
oozing aura.
Rampage. Yeah, Rampage had the same mental. It was like, yeah.
Uh, Nicholas Danchenko came back. First
Yeah.
question, what are the next steps for Dodgeball Toronto?
Uh, I like partially said it. So one, we're gonna try running small local tournaments, like small 12-team local tournaments in between our really big flagship tournaments. We have started like a youth wait list. Like we have parents reaching out to us regularly. As soon as we hit like a critical mass of like 20 kids, we can start doing a youth night. So a youth night's really important. Um, Creating this dodgeball content that you can share with a friend. If you have a friend brand new coming to play dodgeball, they should be able to watch like a 90-second video and have everything they need to know really quickly. That should be like easily digestible introduction. And then if like you're a comp player, like you want to get really competitive, here's another 90-second video. So that's stuff that's like in the pipeline. Um, what's next for Dodgeball Toronto? I think those three things. Ref training, I think, is like our ref training is something we want to get better at. We want to create a course, and like, even I'm not saying we're the authority on it, but if we can develop this and other people can contribute to it, those are like
Nice.
Mhm.
Um,
those are the yeah, those are the that's what's up coming up for us.
Next question. I guess you already touched upon this as well. What do you think is the next step for the sport?
Yeah, we've talked about it already. Next step is like viewership. I think I think more countries playing is a good thing. I think participation in good faith is a good thing. Like without getting to specifics, like I think a lot of countries are going to be at the next Worlds that haven't gotten to be. I think that's like a really good thing. Um, there's like it's not without its cost, which really sucks. But let's see. Um, uh, yeah, spectator improving. We've talked about it already.
Yeah.
Still a good
Uh,
question, but yeah.
do you think you'll ever return to the top level?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a world where I can be a bench player on like a quarters or a semis team maybe, but like after playing last year, I don't think so. It's not like I'm gonna give up. It's not like I'm gonna give up, but I'm not betting any money on it. I'm trying. I'm trying, and let's see. And like Jeff's 43, 44
Yeah.
can still can still play, you know. I just turned 40. That's like, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No, not very.
I see you do it.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Um, when am I getting a raise?
Is this what, Nick?
Yeah.
Nick can get a job, man. Go get a job, Nick. And you're getting a raise at kickoff because we've raised our prices for the tournament. Part of that was we wanted less teams. Part of it is also we wanted to give everyone who's working for us, we wanted to pay them more because they are working really hard. So you're getting a raise in January, Nick.
Nice. Then he says,
You
love you.
fucking, yeah, I love you. Yeah, I love you too. With all the, I will say this publicly. I give Nick a lot of shit, and he's a giant child, but he's our giant child, and we love him and appreciate. And Nick is a very sweet kid. You only want to root for, and he tries really hard, and he cares a lot, and he loves dodgeball, and he's very nice. It's like, yeah, I wish I was as gracious as Nick, as gracious and as intelligent as Nick is when I was his age. I wish I had that.
Yeah. Now he's Team
Yeah.
USA Nick.
Team U, yeah, good man. Go get it, kid. Go play. Go play.
And then Justin Thomas. A couple
Yeah.
questions. Number one, kickoff is clearly a labor of love. Who are the unsung heroes you'd love to spotlight for helping shape it into what it is today? I think you kind of answered that one earlier.
Oh man, I've already said it. Can
Yeah.
I just say Justin has like the most infectious smile in the actual like in the universe, maybe. You just
Yeah.
see this guy smile, you just want to be happy around Justin. But yeah, I've kind of already answered it.
Yeah. He
Thanks to Justin.
he's made such an impact in the short amount of time he's been in around the community.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he came in and just like filmed content and stuff and just like I love it. I love it
Yeah.
so much. Thanks, Justin.
Number two, for those of us who want to rally behind kickoff and clash, what's the most meaningful way we can support you and help make this upcoming kickoff unforgettable?
Encourage people to watch. Encourage people like share that you're attending the tournament, share where the tournament is, share us on socials, make some content, like make videos of your trip to the tournament, you know, make a small little montage of like you attending the tournament, make a small little montage of you at the tournament, tag us as a collaborator and just share that you're playing and share dodgeball with people. Doesn't necessarily have to be like benefiting Dodgeball Toronto directly, although if you're making the content there eventually, like obviously people are going to ask that, but show people in your life how much you love playing or you love enjoying and you don't have to come to one of our tournaments to enjoy it. You know, you can go to lots of different tournaments, but I think making content and sharing like what you do, Kim, is like you're an unsung hero, man. You know, like this is incredibly tough what you do. And like I hope you get appreciated, you know. I hope this fills your cup. But like content creators, like they share the stories. They share like I'm sure there are a lot of people who'd be really interested to listen to me drone on for 3 hours. And I'm sure there are a ton of people who will listen for half an hour and they'll be like, I'm fucking over this guy,
Yeah.
you know. Uh but you're doing the labor, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, dude.
Not the level you are, though.
Ah, whatever. Stop. I won't. I'm not going to entertain that. I'm not entertaining that.
Third question. You've seen a lot of jerseys come and go. Which three kickoff or clash designs stand out as your personal favorite? And what stories or emotions do they carry for you?
Uh, Man, this is so tough. Like
Tough
stories,
questions.
I don't know that like yeah, fuck, it's a really hard question. I don't know that like I don't know that any of the jerseys have like stories for me. It's fun watching Valkyrie come with a different design. Like they love Shrek. I don't get it, man. They love Shrek so much and they have Shrek jerseys. You guys are weird. But congrats. And you do you, you know. I'm not knocking that. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. I'm not knocking that. Um Watching them win three and then like doing so by being their goofy selves, like that's cool, you know, good for them. Uh I thought I thought the man, this is like it's 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 a crappy answer to the question. I don't think I can answer this question well, but watching Josh's Saint Elite team, they were wearing their whites in that big win. I think, man, I really hope that's right. I like help make that bit. Anyway, that to me, Josh, the big story there, like that big upset, that big upset is probably like the most triumphant story from, you know, I don't think there are stories that are like tied to. If you've seen man, there's some very memey like Sour Patch Kids is a pretty cool design. Or sorry, it's Power Catch Kids, not Sour Patch Kids. It's Power Catch Kids. It's a play on the Sour Catch
Hmm.
Kids. Um, I wish I had more front of mind. It's just not something like I've seen so many. I'm not answering this question well. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna bail. I'm gonna bail. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I love that Josh comeback story. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Fourth question. Looking back across all the kickoff Clash events, is there a moment that still gives you chills or makes you smile every time you think about it?
It's the same fucking answer, man. Shit, that sucks. It's like, yeah, Saint Elite winning Clash was pretty cool. Valkyrie, I think Valkyrie, like, don't get me wrong, they love winning and they appreciate winning and they're happy to do it. It just doesn't feel like there have been huge triumphant moments for teams, but Keitha Keitha was like so overwhelmed when she got MVP at Clash, you know, and that's like such a nice like there are so many players. Jackie Spinell is another one who got like she got an MVP at kickoff this year. And she was just like so like humbled, you know, like these players like they play so well, they have a heavy impact, and they're so surprised when they get recognized for it, you know. It's like really humbling. I think those are like the amount of those players who are so shocked to be recognized, those are really sweet moments that go unnoticed that maybe we need to highlight those or shine those more. But if you've seen like there's a clip out there of Jackie of like holding her medal
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this and she's like so you know exactly what I'm talking
Hmm.
about. And it's like she's just so sweet. And then you can go you can go find a picture of Etha getting her MVP award. And
Hmm.
actually, it's funny, I may not have posted that picture, but I will. Because it was like in a different anyway. Um, and like Keith was like overcome with emotion about like getting the MVP. And like those are really special moments.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
seeing that picture with Jackie reminded me of the Quan yell like screaming picture with the trophy and the MVP trophy in his hand.
Oh, dude, how did I forget that moment? Holy shit. Oh my God, the Quan, dude, Quan, he, it was against Hex in the finals. Is this kickoff? Or this was Clash last year? I think this was Clash last year. Holy shit. I, this is one of the things I hate the most about reffing is you can't react. You can't
Hmm.
react to like, I see so many fucking sick plays, but in the moment, I've got to be like, you know,
Right.
stoic. I can't react to it at all. But Quan, holy shit, he's in sudden death and he makes this catch on the back line. It's like it's in the highlight video, I think, for Clash last year. It was like fucking epic. And then he does this other move where he's standing and he literally like he lies
Yeah,
flat.
yeah.
He's at the center line and lies flat, and the ball goes like right over him. He like watches the ball go across him, but he's cool and so calm. And I don't think like I think I'm pretty sure he's a class player like at heart. And like they were like the shred guys were like bullying him and go play foam as well. You know, play foam as well. I'm not saying choose one or the other. But you watch a lot of people who play dodgeball, there's like, man, I was never an athlete. I was a dodgeball player. You know, I
Yeah.
was not like an athlete. And I turned into like, I had athletic traits, whatever. You
Yeah.
watch Quan play. This dude's an athlete. This dude
He's a
grew up
pure
playing
athlete.
sports, you know,
Yeah.
legit, like pure fucking like, and he's so cool and calm and collected. And it's like, to him, he's like, he's just playing ball, bro. You know, he's
Yeah.
just playing. And it's like that. I can't believe, oh, I'm so glad I thought of it, or I'm so glad you made me think of it. Yeah, that quad picture with him at the trophy. Yeah, he won MVP. He won MVP, or he won that trophy. Man, it was like, yeah, he's wicked, man.
Yeah.
That's another sick photo. Yeah, it's another sick moment.
Fifth one, when people talk about your impact on the dodgeball community many years from now, what kind of legacy do you hope they'll remember you?
Yeah, I like kind of said it already. I hope someone picks up our slack at some point. You know, if we fall off, or if we move on, or if it just doesn't work out, whatever happens down the road. I hope someone picks up our mantle. I hope people get to sit in the shade that I never got to sit in. You know, I got to enjoy a lot of Wicked events, um, but they were fewer and far between than what's happening now. You know, I wish I got to play a thing. I wish I got to play API. I wish I got to play like one of Dodgeball Toronto's tournaments. Um, and the I hope the legacy is I inspire others to like, hey, I'm totally done playing, but you ever call me to ref and I'll ref. You know, I'm happy to be involved. I will help train refs. I will hope like I hope a couple people. I hope Dodgeball Canada has a bunch of quality people apply to be board members in a couple of weeks, you know. You just need it's so hard because you need your needs met at home first. You need everything taken care of, and you have space to give elsewhere, you know. Um, and I hope that people have the time and space to give, because yeah, you just need more of that. I guess that my legacy is like inspiring. I don't know about inspiring. Like I'm a dickhead, man, but just help out. You know, just help out a little bit.
Yeah, give back.
Yeah, yeah, get back.
Sixth question. For someone gearing up for their first kickoff or clash, what's one piece of advice or insight you'd share to help them make the most of the experience?
Ooh. I would say this sounds like silly, but book. I hope you have time to book a couple days before and after and enjoy Toronto a little bit. So that's one. I hope the trip isn't just dodgeball, but if it is, that's okay too. Specifically for the tournament, um, I hope you. I hope you. Uh, I hope you are well physically, and if you're not and you need treatment, the guys at the spot are like the guys and girls at the spot who treat people like they actually do a really great job. I hope you can like keep your body well, eat well, get a good night's sleep. Like, don't fly in. I've had people like fly in Saturday morning or fly in late Friday night and be like it's miserable, like rushing in and out. Um, and then I'd say come up to us and introduce yourself. Like, tell me who you are, where you're from, and what brought you here, and who you're playing with. Um, and yeah, I don't like our tournaments are supposed to be really easy to participate in, you know. Um, so I don't know that I have like any I don't know that my advice is very specific to our events. But make friends, like sit in the crowd. If you want to commentate, sign up to commentate, you know. But make friends, sit in the crowd, cheer for the games. Um, and yeah, come introduce yourself. I want to know everybody. It's like it's wild. Once upon a time at Toronto tournaments or like Canadian tournaments, I used to know everybody in the room. And now it's like, holy, like there's so many people here that I haven't met or that I don't know. And I wish I would just take 5 minutes to be like, just to introduce myself, or they would introduce themselves and just say hi,
Yeah,
you know, because I think it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then last questions from Justin. He gave me a secret question. Uh,
Okay.
who is an awesome person you would love to see at kickoff that you haven't seen in some time? Would you like to call them now on Messenger, WhatsApp, etc., and like, make it a case to bring them to play?
Oh my God. Okay. So if we were already like so deep into the podcast, I would call this person, but Bizzle. Yeah.
Mm,
Bizzle. I hope you make it out. I haven't seen Bizzle in so long. I have nothing but fond memories. This dude radiates positivity. Like nobody has a bad time with Bizzle around. Um, yeah, that's like someone who's never. The question was specifically someone who's never been to the event, right?
Uh, love to see a kickoff that you haven't seen in some time.
Sometime. It's always been too long since I've seen Lucas.
Mm,
I hope Lucas can make it out. Bizzle. Um, yeah, I think those two are really big. Yeah, I think that's my yeah. I don't want to
nice.
like. I feel bad. This has been so long.
No,
It's
you're good.
crazy.
I'm used to
Yeah. Okay. All
it.
right. Thanks. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Okay, and that's all the questions from me and the crowd. Any last
All right.
remarks or shouts you want to throw out there?
Fuck. I think I did it for the most part. I think I acknowledged like shout outs to like everybody that I've mentioned and I've spoken about.
Mhm.
It's like I don't think I have any final remarks. I talk enough, man. I thanks honestly, Kim. Thanks for doing this. This was like I I've kind of told a couple people. I'd be like, as soon as you followed me on Instagram, I was like, "Yo, is it happening? It's finally happening." I was like, "Holy shit! Is it my go?" I'm so stoked. I really appreciate this. This is nice. This is fun. I try to catch this podcast as much as I can. Um, love what you do. Appreciate what you do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Appreciate you
everyone.
hopping on.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for everyone making it this far. If you did, if you made it through the whole thing, come up to me at kickoff and I'll give you something for it. It's crazy. This
Nice.
is well over 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, someone made
Yeah.
it this far. They really, really like dodgeball.
Or yeah, yeah. I hope it's dodgeball. Yeah, cool.
But
Cool,
yeah,
man.
thank you.
Thanks, dude.